Okay. All right. So, um, the four adventurers have survived Death House, and upon exiting Death House, you guys realize the heavy fog that covered the entire village is now lifting up around you, allowing you to see these huge, tall shapes surrounding you on all sides, and they kind of loom out of the fog that still kind of exists. But the heavier mist closer to the house had dissipated now. Underneath of you, you just have muddy ground that gives way to slick, wet cobblestones. As more of the mist starts to roll back, there's still a lingering fog, but the tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sounds cut the silence except for mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance.
Do you guys hear that? Someone's crying.
Sounds like some mournful sobbing we should check out.
Is that one person or many?
One particular sob in the distance.
Male or female? Can we tell?
Female.
That's more important.
Did you say so, Oscar?
Yeah, but as you guys are contemplating whether to head towards it, you start to hear the sound of small wooden wheels rolling across damp cobblestones. You trace the lonely sound to a hunched figure bundled in rags, pushing a rickety wooden cart through the fog. She approaches a home nearby you, like she's come from this street and is kind of like behind Oscar. And she begins pounding her fist against the home violently. She pauses for a few seconds, then walks to a neighboring door, repeating her process, but not getting any answers. As she's busy knocking house to house, then you see a tall soldier come up from the fog. He stands out from what you expect to see across this village and appears like he could be another adventurer.
Who's that weird-looking dude?
So yeah, so Fench, you've been kind of following this woman around a bit, getting the feeling that she's up to something that you're not comfortable with. You found yourself transported here, and she's kind of one of the first people you had encountered.
Okay. I poorly follow her to sneak.
You try to sneak?
Yes.
Go ahead and you have heavy armor, right?
I get disadvantage.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Let's see. So where is it? Stealth.
He has advantage.
Disadvantage. All right. So as you're following behind her, everyone hears the large clunking of your metal hitting against the various layers of your heavy armor. She turns over her shoulder and looks at you and quickly quickens her pace to try and find another house that she can peddle her wares.
I'm gonna rapidly try and catch up to her because I've realized my mistakes.
From our view, does it look like this poor elderly woman is being attacked by this well-tanned, armored man?
From the distance, you can tell that she's... does someone have my stuff up? Because I hear a slight echo.
Not me.
It's not me.
Not me.
I have muted my computer.
Okay. I didn't know where that was coming from. So from what you can tell, he kind of looks like he's trying to do the good thing and that he's been caught in the act.
No one gets caught in the act of doing good.
Well, you can tell she was clearly not interested in having him anywhere near what she was up to. And
He
he's...
does appear to be shady, Oscar.
I guess
Although
why
I don't
don't
know
we
if he's attacking her or just stalking her. Perhaps that's his love interest.
So, what makes us think this woman is shady? Like, she's just a door-to-door salesman. We all
She's
hate them, but
she's hunched over in rags, and the way that she looks over her shoulder, she looks more cautious of having someone see what she's doing rather than just being annoyed by having someone follow her.
let's
So she's
follow her.
ugly and nervous. Must be a criminal.
I'm gonna sneak behind her too.
Okay, are you gonna go through like some of these houses?
Yeah, let's go through the alleyways. Keep an eye on her.
All right. Are you able to move your token, or?
No.
I was just wondering if you, yeah. So you tiptoe through quietly and quickly through the dark alleyway, and she still seems preoccupied with the armored man chasing after her. Let me see if there's a token for her, actually, now that I think about it. There is.
What do you
Oh.
think she's selling you guys? It's probably chocolate.
Religion. Chocolate.
So she's over here by now. She has grabbed her wagon and kind of started nudging her way.
I'm watching her from corners.
And then Fench, where do you want to say you positioned yourself? Like not too far back?
Honestly, I'm going right up to her at this point. I've been following her for a bit. No better place than the present.
All right, so you're just gonna go ahead and talk to her?
Yep.
Okay. So she sees you and she's like, why have you been following me? What is it? Do you want some of what I have?
Ooh.
I have to say, woman, that I'm not too happy about what I've seen.
What
The
have
few
you seen?
remedies in which you, well, simply trying to attempt to fence some peasants, trying to make sure that they, you sell them some remedies that don't remedy a situation, if you will. And I have to say, I am not too happy about that.
Well, I mean, like, you see this village that we're in, they need something. They need anything to give them a break. And that's all I offer.
False hope is worse than no hope.
What,
'Cause
having...
it just crushes them even farther in the end.
they...
After all, something tells me that you're giving a little more than just some false hope.
Just because they get addicted on what I have and they can't always afford it doesn't make me the bad guy. I'm here to just give them what they want. And if what I have is what they want and they can pay me, they get what they want.
I have another theory. That you might be, in fact, a witch.
You're just gonna throw accusations at old ladies who peddle wares in this village?
Yes. In all honesty, I am not too trustworthy in what you have been offering, and I've seen quite a few sick peasants in my wake.
But
Some of whom are not too happy about the cures you've been throwing out there.
Do you even understand what I sell?
What does she sell? Like I'm rolling with this. I have to know. Am I just making shit up? Because I don't want to be just making shit up.
You're not too far off. Looking, as you've been speaking to her, you kind of peek into her wagon. It looks like it's full of pastries.
Okay.
Oh. They're evil pastries.
So she heads up and is like,
Sugar is evil.
she heads up to the next house and is like, just watch how happy they are when I bring them what they want. And she knocks on this door, and a family does answer, even though some of the other ones seemed abandoned. And she explains, you know, she's here for their next shipment, and she's ready for her payment. But what you notice is the family doesn't seem to have anything to offer her. So she proceeds to pull out a sack from among her rags, and you hear her say, "The boy! I'll take the boy!" as she tries to take the boy from the family, their youngest
Are
son.
you serious? Are you honestly trying to imply that you're not a witch when your exchange for pastries is a child?
Literal
I'm
Hensleigh
just trying. I'm
rattle.
trying to understand here.
Well, you see,
True.
it's a trades. It's a business. You see how happy the parents are having this pastry, and you can't see it, Fench, from where you're standing, but Aiden, you can see that the family is very excited for what she's handed them.
Well, you know what? You know what? I want to be happy too. And you know what would make me happy?
What is that?
I go to push over her cart.
All right. Push over
How
her
much
car.
of this do we hear?
You probably hear Fench's side. Just him.
What about
And watch him push over her cart?
Yes. And then Oscar and Aiden would be able to hear her side, but not necessarily Fench's side from where you're positioned.
What are you doing to this poor old woman? Why are you just pushing over her cart of her baked goods that she's trying to give to these people?
Ah, right. Baked goods that are so amazing that people sell their children for. That must be really good. I go to step on a few.
Let me find.
My God, Jorin, the mustachioed villain is ruining her goods.
I mean, this poor old woman just seems like she's trying to make a living out here.
Ah, right. That's totally the excuse. Please. Some old woman walks into town, takes children for the exchange of sweets. Are you children as well?
I haven't seen her take any children.
Shit. I've been following her for days now. There's something wrong about what she gives out. There's a taint to it.
Sounds like a creep to me.
Well, honestly, I don't care what you think. Fact of the matter is, she's guilty in my eyes.
I think you should
But
pay
unless
this woman
you-
for her goods. This is not a right thing that you're doing to her.
Ah, you think I care, and that's a very amazing sentiment.
I don't care whether you care.
Are you going to force me or something? Or, I mean, after all, you just have to look in front of you here to see that there's something wrong.
As you two are arguing, she. Oh, go ahead, Oscar.
I was gonna say, I was hoping to cast Detect Thoughts upon the old lady.
Hit it, and then I'll see what it does.
Oh my.
Those are lots of words.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
a lot of words. Okay, but she's
I believe I
aware that you're probing.
Well, not only if I go deeper, she gets aware. She has a chance of being aware of it.
So you kind of get.
He gets like the surface thoughts, like whatever she's thinking, like right at that instant.
Okay.
Nothing deeper than that, though.
All right. So
But I
Oscar.
could try to push
Yeah.
if I want to.
So what you get is, since Fench pushed over her wagon, she is immediately thinking, "What can I do to get him to stop ruining my goods?" And she's sprinting back towards her wagon. She approaches you, Fench. She's like, "Just leave my goods alone. I'll tell you anything. I know a lot about this village, if that'll help you, and how to maybe deal with the people in it."
Oh. So, what exactly could you offer me that would be worth my while to make me look the other way here?
First off,
Now he's accosting the old woman for her information, Jorin. I swear.
This is a strange place we've come to, Romero.
I agree.
she looks at you and she's like, "Well, I can tell you about this town. You look completely lost, Mr. Good to Do, destroy old ladies' pastries."
Just because I'm lost does not mean I don't know where I'm going.
Where are you going then?
Wherever fate throws me.
Well, you'd be stuck in here forever then, and I guess I can't be of any help. And she starts to pick up her pastries and brush them off and put them back in her wagon.
Ugh.
Now look here. You have to do some strong convincing for me not to kill all you right now.
Did he just threaten us?
With what boat?
That a threat, sir? Roll intimidation.
Let's see. Do bring back up the character sheet.
Okay, so you would get the first one. So she looks you up and down after you assert that to her, and she just huffs and begins pushing her wagon away from you up the street.
Did the house she was trying to sell the pastry for the kid? What did they get their pastries? Does she have a kid with her? What became of that?
Since Fench knocked over all of her stuff, it distracted her. She did drop a couple of pastries, not as many as the family was hoping, but she did not get the child.
Okay.
And they have.
What's the? Am I close enough? Can I see like what the family's now doing?
They've shut their door now that she's walked away, but you can kind of hear them, like what it sounds like them scrambling over the at a table, trying to get what they can.
If I were to peer into the window, are they like fighting each other for it, or are they like sharing them peacefully?
They're trying to. It's as if they're counting out how much they can split with each other.
Okay.
But in. Well, not in a here's a piece for you and here's a piece for me, but a that's not a fair piece. I need more.
So they are bickering?
Yeah, it's not violent, but it's not family gathering.
Would my detect magic be able to identify what's within, if there's any like poisons or magical means within these pastries?
I don't think you'd be able to pick up on that.
Okay. Oh, but maybe identify would.
You don't have any.
I'll have to get some.
When she walks past me, can I try to swipe one?
You can try. Do sleight of hand, I guess. All right. So you're able to reach in and kind of sweep under the rags and pocket one, but she catches you in the process. And she's like, I see what you have there, sir. Are you going to pay me for it?
How much is it?
How much are you willing to spend?
Going to buy some cursed pastries.
I don't have any dollars, but I could trade. Sure. What would an old woman want?
A man.
My guess is the souls of small children.
I don't know. I could give her a crowbar or a holy symbol or a mirror.
Are you kind of like lifting these up to her and like asking if these are good enough?
Sure.
She eyes the crowbar and she seems okay with it. I guess a crowbar could be useful, but you get half the pastry for it.
All right.
Okay, so, you kind of hand her the pastry that you've swiped from her, and she breaks it in half and takes the crowbar and gives you the other half. And she looks at you, she's like, you seem a little bit more reasonable than the last adventurer I encountered. Do you need to know anything?
What's the name of this town?
Oh, you're in Barovia. You're in the village of it.
And what is this town's purpose?
Purpose? For Strahd to rule. That's about all I can tell. All the Barovians themselves corner themselves in their own homes, and I deliver them the goods to make them feel like a little bit less miserable.
So Strahd pays you, or you just take advantage?
No, I come through here and Strahd doesn't bother me, so I don't bother him. You've got two kinds of folks in this town, you see. You've got the wandering gypsies, the Vistani, and then you have the actual villagers, Barovians. Strahd can do whatever he wants to the Barovians. Everybody else is scot-free.
Why doesn't he touch the gypsies?
He doesn't have power.
Alright, where do you get the materials to make these pastries?
Oh, I'm not from here. I come through, I travel.
So she must, like, store these somewhere. Do you know where the inn is?
The inn? I don't think there's an active inn anymore where they allow adventurers to stay, but there is a tavern. Is that good enough?
I suppose.
Alright, it's...
Don't we have a house to stay in?
You aren't there.
Do you remember that house? It
Yes.
tried to eat us.
And then it stopped after we left, right?
I mean,
I don't
No, we
remember what the
just
house
left.
looked like after we left and the mist lifted.
It
We should
decayed.
tell this orange guy about this. Oh yeah, it's a bunch of ash, isn't it? Dang.
No,
Oh,
no,
that's
no.
right.
Like the house existed, but like the floors that looked nice suddenly turned bad. You know, like that kitchen table that was set with all the ornaments, and the
Yeah.
library,
it's
the
a bit of a
books turned.
turn-off for Oscar.
I must say I'm confused. What is this? Who is this Strahd?
Strahd is the vampire that has the iron rule over this town. He does whatever he wants, has control over everything. He's got spies, he's got the wolves, he can even control the weather.
That seems a
Well,
little
shit.
OP.
Those Vistani folk, though, some of those are spies, so be careful who you trust around here. But
Wait, he
anyway,
can control the weather, and he chooses to have it be this slightly cloudy, muggy, fog-ridden landscape.
well, people can't revolt if they are depressed, can they?
They wouldn't need to if they were happy.
Well, not everything's rainbows and sunshines, I'm sorry to say, mister. But the tavern,
I
That's-
miss rainbows and sunshine.
the tavern you're looking for is through the alleyway, right behind you. It's a fairly large building. Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Well, thank you for the information and the half pastry.
Yeah, don't, just be careful with that stuff. And she goes along, beginning to knock on other doors.
You know, Oscar, I'm starting to think you would be a better ruler here than this Strahd fellow.
I'd at least, be open about having these people be not depressed. Seems like a pretty good leadership quality.
Agreed. He seems quite the villain, almost as villain as this mustachioed gentleman we've met.
well, that's an awful harsh argument you're making there.
You did knock over an old woman's cart of pastries.
Look, she clearly is mystic or magical or something. Though I'm starting to understand why nobody else has been finding my weirdness and finding that she is as such.
Well, I mean, she's a witch selling baked goods in a vampire-controlled land, so...
Yes, it's why I'm currently reconsidering my actions against going against said witch. I'm wondering if I'm going to wake up as a newt tonight.
Well, I knew a guy who got better after being turned into a newt.
I'm going to be honest. I have no idea where the hell I am. In what relation is this to the Sword Coast?
I don't know. We're not from the Sword Coast, so.
Do I recognize like the name
Nice.
Barovia, like for a map or anything?
I don't believe so because, I guess, roll
Where-
history
Where
for
are
me.
we from?
Well, Sword Coaster is on Eberron, so Mr. Mustachio here is.
Can I use
traveling to a different
cartography
realm.
instead?
Yeah, I'll let you use cartography.
The Sword Coast is from Forgotten Realms, not
What's
Eberron.
that?
Oh yeah,
Intelligence?
you're
Yeah,
right. My bad.
Forgotten Realms.
Yeah,
This
is
is
all
Forgotten
like,
Realms, right?
No, this is
Yeah.
Ravenloft.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So from what you remember in your cartography lessons, this area of Barovia has never really come up in your studies.
Sorry, I don't recognize the name.
Hey, Hop, are all of our characters originally from Ravenloft except for Finch?
That would be a yes because everybody else was traveling from the same hometown of Oscar and Romero.
I was just wondering if we all planescape.
To be honest, I did not know that I planescaped.
It's fine.
Where are you from?
The Sword Coast? Luskin?
Big place. I don't know. Is that near Cholt?
Yeah, north of Chult.
North of Cholt? Okay. I mean, it explains the tan at least.
I mean,
It really does.
is this it does not. Is this some sort of Fey pocket realm, or?
As good a guess as any.
Neat.
But as you can see, we're rather injured right now, so perhaps we should look for some place to rest.
Yeah, let's retire to that tavern. I guess if you like Fench, was it?
Yes.
You could maybe join us if you buy the first round.
Sure.
There we
We
go.
should also figure out what's in these pastries.
Yeah, well, give me like 10 minutes. Let me sit down, relax, and do it.
Didn't you eat it yet?
No, I don't trust that woman.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, it's just common sense not to eat from strangers.
So yeah, so this
And
is
metagaming.
yeah, this is the direction
hopping
that
in.
she had pointed you towards.
Bam.
Yep. So as you walk up towards the tavern, as she pointed out, a single shaft of light thrusts illumination into that main square, its brightness looking like a solid pillar in the heavy fog. Above the gaping doorway, a sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern. Staring closely, though, you realize that there was an F that's now been overwritten with an N on the sign. Entering in, you quickly spot the tavern has seen better days. Everything within looks as though it was once ornate, but is so heavily worn that it's lost all its polish. In the center of the room is a hearth with a small fire, keeping warm a small crowd. There's a barkeep who is cleaning glasses, 3 colorfully dressed women all sitting together and chatting, and a young man sitting alone.
So there are empty tables to sit at?
Yes.
I say, since Finch is buying, I'm going to pick a seat, and I pick a table that's big enough for all of us.
Okay.
And then I just sit down.
I'll join my brother in seat, but I will give a quick look over at the 3 girls. Are they pretty by chance?
They are dressed in very colorful garb that really stands out against the rest of the scenery. But
Well, I mean, I'm more concerned with what's underneath the garb. Like
they're
personality.
of course. Their actual looks, though, are pretty much average. It looks like they spend a lot of their time just in and around the bar, chatting it up. They don't look very concerned with their looks.
For a man like Oscar, who's only ever lived in a small village.
I was related to half the girls.
Are you related to half of them? Ooh.
Related by blood from one half and by marriage the other half.
Alright, so is Fench just gonna go ahead and get you guys a round?
Yeah, are you?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what he's told
Yeah,
us.
yes.
So, Fench, how do you plan on doing this?
I go straight up to the barkeep. Excuse
And
me.
also
sir.
assault him.
Knock over his cart of beer.
Excuse me, sir. How much would it be for a round of drinks for the gentleman over there?
As he's cleaning his glasses in a really repetitive motion, you see that he's a shorter, pudgy man on a little bit of an older side, but he kind of has a blank stare in his eyes. He looks up at you, and all he says back is 1 copper for glass wine, 1 silver pitcher wine, and then goes back to look down and watch his glasses.
Do I have like a feeling like I just walked into Innsmouth, or like, you know?
He doesn't look inhuman. He looks very much human.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure right now. All right. I guess I'll get 2 pitchers of wine then,
Okay.
and 6 glasses.
All right, so he looks at you. He repeats it just plainly back to you. 2 silver, 2 pitchers, 6 copper, 6 glasses, and holds his hand out.
I hand it over.
Okay, so then he goes ahead and prepares your order and brings it up to the table. And as soon as your orders are to the bar, and as soon as the order's on the bar, he immediately goes back to his repetitive glass cleaning.
This place is
I'm gonna-
dreary.
I'm gonna take this time to kind of just like right here out on the table, just whip out all of my components I need to ritual cast identify on the pastry.
Mm-hmm.
So like like some candles, make some circles, chalk circles on the table.
Can
And
you
while he does that,
cast
I pull out
identify
the
so I
deck
can
of
see it?
cards.
Yeah, boom.
Wow, he's cast identify.
Okay.
While he does that, I pull out the deck of cards I stole from the Death House and ask
Mhm.
if anyone wants to play a friendly hand.
What games do you know?
My guy is an expert with cards, so he knows 3 different kinds of poker, 4 versions of blackjack you've never heard of, and Go Fish.
I'm quite a go fish man myself.
Alright, then we'll just play that.
All right, what are you doing, Aiden?
So Oscar didn't actually talk to the women, right?
No.
Not yet. Business before pleasure.
Yet is the key word, Aiden.
Alright, then I'll play a game of cards.
Are you waiting for the women interaction?
Yes.
All right. To watch or to join?
To watch you, in case you randomly explode. Again.
This is fair.
So much confidence in your friends.
What ability score are we using?
Well, I think we're just playing a friendly game, so...
Yeah, but I don't have like that tool. So
I think you just do a d20 then, since you're not proficient.
Yeah, because it's 1d20 plus 3. So I'm guessing that's your proficiency modifier.
Did our proficiency bonus go up? Should be 2, right?
Is it just 2? Then I don't know what the plus 3 is from.
What's
Maybe
your
what's your dex?
Nah, that should be +2. That's my bad.
Oof.
And you guys said you were playing Go Fish?
Yeah, are we just rolling a d20 for it, Kate?
No, it's I think it's your requisite ability score if you're proficient with it, right? I think some tools cards is wisdom. You can kind of choose which one you want to apply if you're proficient with a skill, I think, right? So you can do your
the
proficiency.
DM picks, like based on what
Okay.
it is.
Yeah, so what was your +3? What stat was that from? For game set cards?
Wisdom plus proficiency. So that's just +3 there.
Okay, I'll allow that. And then 11. Yeah. Do you have a card set, Joe Bob? If not, then roll a d20. Okay. And then
Way
are
better
you
than these fools.
are you playing, Oscar? Or are you or no, you're identifying. Okay.
I'm identifying, yeah.
Yeah. So, so yeah, so you guys begin your game of Go Fish. Are you guys making bets or just playing leisurely?
I don't have money, so if it's bets, I'm out.
I'm in for a leisurely game while we have a few drinks.
Okay. All right, so you all
I
begin.
do
For
not.
the pride.
So yeah, so as you're all leisurely playing, Fench and Jobobio seem to be pretty neck and neck with how many pairs they have in front of them. But Jobobio is able to pull through in the end by pulling the exact card he needs to empty out his hand and end with the most pairs. Whereas Romero had a moderate amount, and Aiden just couldn't seem to get a single pair on the table.
Maybe a bluffing game is more your style, Aiden. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, new guy, I appreciate the wine, but I see you're just no match in Go Fish.
Well, there are things I'm good with and things I'm not.
So Oscar. So from casting Identify on the item, you can tell that it's imbued with magical ingredients. I'm trying to think how much you should know. There's properties. From what you can tell, what the magical ingredients do for the pastry is give people a feeling of dreams that they've always wanted while they sleep. But it can cause a euphoric and or addictive sensation when used too often.
But it mainly only like once you eat it, nothing will happen until you sleep that night.
In the beginning, from what you can tell, the magic doesn't seem strong enough to like knock you out.
Okay. Cool. And then once I'm done with that, can I read and get a general sense of the atmosphere of this place? Would music maybe lighten the mood and be an okay thing to do?
The general atmosphere for you is that it is somber, minus the 3 chatty women. The barkeep doesn't seem to really be paying attention to what's going on in the bar, and nobody in there is particularly in a music-having mood.
Okay, so that's not, it'd be out of place to maybe play some music to lighten the mood here?
Yes.
Alright.
You said there was a lone man just sitting at a table by himself?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not going to say hi to him.
Aw, shy Romero.
Maybe Bungie can go say hi.
No,
Well, I
Bungie
mean,
is eating his pets.
If we need to make a quick buck, maybe we can invite him in on our card games.
I suppose that's true. Yato was making some money off of somebody, or but 5 to 1.
I personally don't like the idea of just making coppers.
Fair enough.
Should we play for gold
Probably
then? Is
can't
that
have
more
both.
your style?
What do you think they're going to have gold?
You just
They can
gonna
barely afford
judge them?
food here. Yes.
Well then, Finch. I will take a bet on whether this man has gold in his pocket or not.
I'm not taking a bet on that.
No? Why?
No.
You're so quick to judge, but then back down as soon as anybody calls you on it?
I simply don't care enough. And I don't need your gold, because I don't think you have gold either.
Whoa. I'll have you know that I come from a very prestigious family of a small
Ah.
town.
Ah,
So while these two bicker, I'm gonna go over and chat with one of the ladies, really quick,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna say, "Hey, you see that guy over at the table?" I point at Oscar. He
Uh,
thinks you're cute. You should go chat with him.
the three girls clearly feel annoyed, or like give you that annoyed side eye that you interrupted their conversation, and one of them looks over to Oscar and whispers in the ears of the other two, and they all just start laughing and completely ignore you otherwise.
I go back to talk to Oscar. I say, "I don't think those girls like you very much."
What did you say?
I said, "Hey, my friend Oscar thinks you're cute. You should go say hi."
Oh, brother. There is so much I have to teach you in the ways of women.
You say so.
So there isn't a
anyway.
place to sleep here.
Do we see Romero get shot down?
You
Romero didn't get shot
Yeah.
down. Oscar did.
if you were paying attention to Romero, you probably saw the women giggling, but you probably didn't get any context on what they were talking about.
But I did see him come back to us with
No
after
women.
being giggled at
Yes.
and no women. Console Romero. I mean, tell him I'm sorry. It's okay. Not all of us can look that good.
Look what could. I look better than you.
Oh.
I'm not sure about that.
But yeah, Aiden, you
I
don't
mean,
see.
you're just a short little runt.
He doesn't really measure up to the kind of man my brother is.
Make up for the measurements where it counts.
What's in your speed?
Oh, jeez. But yeah, Aiden, there doesn't seem to be a place to rest anywhere in here. There is a chance, though, that you could ask around and see if someone else might know of a place.
Can I do that then?
Yes. So who do you want to talk to?
The robotic shopkeeper.
Okay. What do you ask him?
All right, ask him. Where can we stay a night?
He pauses washing his glasses briefly, looks up at you, and then looks back down and continues washing his glasses again.
I'm going to approach the three women.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, ladies. May I have a moment of your time?
Did you pay your tab?
So far we have, yes.
Then we don't have anything to discuss here, do we?
Oh?
And the three, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so what position do you serve at this bar?
One of the three girls goes, we own this place.
Oh, it's quite nice. Me and my friends were actually worried travelers coming from a long fight, and we're hoping to find a nice place to spend the night. Does your inn have rooms?
Does this look like an inn?
Oscar, it's a tavern.
Does the tavern have rooms? Is it a tavern and an inn? I mean, it was such a large building. I can't imagine there'd not be rooms for rent here.
Well, there's no second floor, so you see everything there is to offer.
All right, fair enough. It's a shame. We'd
We haven't
spend good
walked
money
into
for a nice room.
Well, we don't have rooms. We have wine. As they, the girl that says that to you starts sipping on her wine.
Well, do you know a place we can stay at? Maybe a friendly house, perchance.
And they all start laughing. Friendly house in this village. You poor soul.
Possibly one that's not crumbling.
And then one of the girls just sighs and she's like, "You clearly haven't been through the whole village yet, have you?
Nope.
It's all crumbles and debris. Nobody worthwhile even stays in this town." And they proceed to sip their wine some more.
So I guess you guys aren't worthwhile.
We don't live here. We work here. So you can see yourself to your table.
Why would you travel so far out of town to come to this place?
We got you guys to buy drinks.
Well, we got Fench to buy drinks.
I put Bungie on the table and just pet him and just try to zone out from this awful conversation.
Whose table? Like back where you guys originally sat?
Yeah.
Okay. For a second, I thought you meant on the table with the girls.
No.
I'm gonna go back to the table. I'll lean into my comrades. I'm like, hey guys, I'm not opposed to casing this joint.
Did you strike out?
What do you mean casing this joint?
I thought you were gonna show me how it's done with the ladies.
Yes, with the ladies. Unfortunately, there are none here.
Oh, that explains it.
Anyway, Aiden.
I thought the one did look kind of mannish.
Aiden, do you keep trying to talk to the barkeep, or...
Does he seem normal? Like, he didn't answer back.
He does not seem normal, but he seems to be alive and doing his tasks.
I don't think that's a bare minimum I'm okay with.
Yeah, what's wrong with him?
There's nothing that
I
you...
would like to point out. Oh, I was just gonna say, I'd like to point out I have not drunken any of the wine.
The girls seem completely fine. They're not in the same state of being as he is. And they've been drinking their glasses without any hesitation.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this.
System.
I have some of the wine.
You feel fine.
So I've definitely been drinking some of the wine.
You also feel fine.
I'll take the undrinking glass and I'll pop that into the remains of my ritual casting and cast ritual again on the wine.
What, you're trying to identify the wine?
Or yeah, identify I mean.
This is an
Okay.
excellent vintage.
It's a 1614 vermouth.
Anyway, Aiden,
Delicious.
do you,
And just wave
there's-
an owl feather around it, be like, I know what this is.
yeah, Aiden, there's nothing that you can tell that looks external to him. It doesn't look like he's, has any particular markings on him that would signify why he might be acting this way.
Is
Do you ever consider he's just dumb?
Is that possible? He's just no.
You entertained it for a whole second.
Perhaps you could speak to the lone gentleman sitting at the table and see if he knows a place we can stay. Perhaps a church has a room for the night?
I guess I'll walk over.
Yeah, who was that too?
So I'm sitting at the table with everyone but Aiden, I suppose.
I guess I'll go walk over.
Okay. So, as soon as you approach this man, he is completely different than the barkeep you had interacted with. He seems very excited to see other people willing to talk to him. You get the very sense at how warm and welcoming he is.
Those women lied
I'm
to us.
instantly put off by this.
You seem confused, sir. What's so wrong? Is it not normal to greet each other?
I'm just saying it is not usual, well, at least in the very limited experience I've had in this town already, to have anybody here be positive in nature.
Yes. I'm Ismark. I am the son of the previous burgomaster of this village. I've been looking for other adventurers to help me in handling something. There are very few of us that are able to speak with other people, and I'm just glad to see someone else here is willing to have conversation.
Wait, what does that mean?
Many people are not too different than the barkeep, I sad to say.
And that's just normal?
Many of the natives are like that, yes. Although there are some of us that, seem to have a little bit more energy to us.
Ah.
What causes this lack of energy?
Nothing that I can particularly say for sure. All I can say for sure is it's probably something related to the fact that we have Strahd in our town.
Where is Straw? Where does he generally hang out at?
He has his own castle that he lives in and tends to stay behind.
Can I not roll a 10?
You do try to understand.
Seems pretty average.
But he seems sincere in all respects. But then he continues on to Oscar. He's like, yeah, a lot of us believe that Strahd has come to us as a curse based on a forgotten sin of our ancestors.
Oh, that's not fair to punish the children of the ancestors' mistakes.
There seems to be no better explanation why someone like Strahd would come over our town as it is.
No, there's an
Probably
easy, easy explanation for that.
What might that be?
You're weak.
And you expect me to take that how?
Honestly, you can take that as you want. But, I mean, if you can't defend yourself,
They bought us
that
wine.
just means you have to get people to defend you.
We have had many come by and defend. We have, at night, it is a sight to see. There's actually a march of all the previous souls that have already tried.
Oh, you just got ghost parades going by?
That is how long and how many have come through and tried to handle the Devil Strahd himself.
Wait, I'm more concerned about the fact that there are ghost parades. That's not normally a thing that happens in towns.
This town doesn't seem very normal.
Though, for tourists.
How much of this town seems normal to you folk?
I don't know. Bitchy women and bad alcohol seems pretty normal.
Par for the course for my brother.
He chuckles to himself. He's like, "You're not wrong, I guess, but I haven't been to much beyond this entire area."
So these ghosts, do they seem like unrestly? Like, is this a bad presence? I mean, we might be able to maybe stop this or put an end to it or let these souls rest in peace, maybe. I mean, right now we are ghost experts. 100% mission complete in that regard.
Well, anytime I've seen them, they seem just on their mission. Don't stop. Don't pay attention to anything else. Just follow the same path. I've never followed it through, though.
Where do you think it leads? Could be adventure.
Places we probably shouldn't go. Because they clearly died.
Yeah, but aren't you better than them?
You see, sir, I don't have that much faith in my abilities.
Oh, so he's a cocky coward. A hot combination of traits.
Did not say I was a coward. I just pick my fights.
Regardless, since you say you are much better than us of this village, will you be willing to help me with something that I haven't been able to get anyone else to help me with?
Sure.
Yes. But it is him who thinks he's better. I am the man of the people. I understand the hardships you guys go through.
How political of you.
It's like it's my mission or something.
Ismark seems to take a little bit more of a liking to Oscar than Fench and goes, "All right, I have a sister, and I would like to keep her protected. For some reason, Strahd seems particularly interested in attacking her. I can't say I understand why, but I want to make sure she never gets attacked again."
Well, if he's a vampire, is she a pale white virgin?
I do not know of my sister exploits, but she is pale, so
It could
I think
be
you've
it.
just found your answer.
but
Side question. Does she have fringe haircut?
I figure for you to help escort her to where I want her to go in the guarded town of Vallaki, you'll have to meet her. I don't know that I know the proper names for haircuts, though.
That's fine. That's fine. I was once quite skilled in the craft of it.
You seem very.
Damn, that's a lie.
Ismark seems impressed that you know so much.
Weren't we just trying to find a place to sleep? How do we get roped into this?
But in order to help you with this mission, we are quite weary. Can you arrange travel for your sister in the morning?
Oh, well, we have a mansion that you can all rest in.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Do we trust this guy?
Do we have a choice?
How trustworthy does he seem? What am I rolling for that?
Insight.
Yeah, insight.
Pretty average.
It seems pretty trustworthy.
I mean, it's hard to pass up a mansion.
It is.
Well, it is hard to pass it up when it's trying to attack you.
I think that makes it easy to pass up.
Wait, what do you mean?
Last house we were chilling at, some ghost children, some things attacked us, giant guillotine blades and walls, you know, the usual.
Normal house
Rats
stuff.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Normal house
Rats in the
things.
walls. Dang wall rats.
Giant sludge monster in the basement. Basic things.
You see him partially gag at that last remark, but yeah, that sounds really dreadful.
Yep.
That's why we're not sleeping there.
Understandably.
Despite Oscar having the deed to that shithole.
We own it though. Well, Oscar owns it.
Oscar owns it. But yes, Ismark begins to gather up his things from around him and begins to lead the way. He was initially mainly talking to Oscar and Fench, and he walks past him and sees. He asks, "Is this the rest of your group?"
Yes. These are my fine men we travel with.
Is Aiden back with us, or is he still talking to the barkeep, or attempting to not talk to the barkeep?
Aiden?
Oh no,
I'll
he's become
rejoin
one with the
him.
barkeep.
Are you back with the group or still at the barkeep?
Yeah. with the
Okay.
group.
Okay. He looks around at everybody and kind of nods and spots Romero and kind of like seems confused since he's never seen anyone that's looked like him before, but keeps walking past thinking that if he can trust most of the party, it should be fine.
What does Romero look like? I actually don't know.
He's a fallen Azamar.
Oh. Neat.
He's pretty spooky.
Best reaction to Romero.
Black voids for
Oh.
eyes, and, like hair that looks like smoke.
Oh.
And a chibi body with a rabbit on his head.
Yep. And
Well-
he's rabbit on his head.
Well, fuck. If you thought I was sketchy about the old woman.
Yeah, my dude looks like he could be evil. For sure.
Yeah,
But
but
you had
I
the
would have
mustache.
reacted to that immediately.
but the mustache. But yes, so Ismark leads you out and heads out of the inn. And
Good night, ladies. This will always be the chance you missed the opportunity to enjoy our company.
instead of answering, two of the girls just start guzzling their wine, and the last one can't stop herself from laughing out loud.
Romero walks by with Bungie in his arms, and he waves Bungie's paw at them as he leaves.
They simultaneously go, "Oh," and then look back up at you, and then begin drinking their wine again. But yes, go ahead.
I'd like to think that I was too focused on the old woman to notice before.
She caught your very tunnel vision, soldier.
Yeah, I was, since that was like my focus for the last few days, and now I've just realized one of the people I signed up with looks like a demon.
Alright, so it is getting a little bit later. What time did I tell you guys what time it was when you left Death House?
So sometime like in the early afternoon.
Early afternoon, yeah. So it's clearly getting on towards evening now, and Ismark has led you to this large home down at the bottom of the village.
Someone followed us.
Oh, did she? Oh, from the bar. I just tried to like click and drag. Where did she? Oh, you don't need to
She
be
wanted
here.
the rabbit.
He leads you to a wary looking mansion that squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are
Squats behind.
Mm-hmm.
A squatting house.
Squatting house. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path of all about the domain. There are heavy claw markings that have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. There are great black marks that tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are instead barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen.
So, how
This
did your
doesn't look much
family
better
make
than our
their
last
money?
house.
Who led the pack? Like, who followed behind Ismark?
I would.
Okay, so Oscar, make a perception check.
Sure thing, boss.
You seem very confident in having to do that. 15.
Oh.
Yeah. So you noticed, looking at the ground as you are right behind Ismark, that you were able to discern that there are trampled weeds all around the mansion, as well as a mixture of human footprints with wolf paw prints. The
This guy's a werewolf.
The human footprints seem to vary. Some show that they're dragging their feet across the grass and barely able to pick it up, while others have a very clear gait in between their steps. So Ismark leads the way and knocks on the door, and on the other side you hear a woman's voice. She yells out, "Who are you, and who am I to trust you for?" And Ismark replies, "It is I, Ismark. I have brought a group with me to help us with our endeavors. You can trust us." So, without any hesitation, she lets everybody into the mansion. I just need to get her.
How much facial hair / body hair does Ismet have? Is it like
Not much. He's pretty young.
Could be werewolf level? No. Okay.
No, no werewolf obvious traits to him. But
All right.
if you would
Maybe
like,
later I'll throw a stick and see if he goes after it.
goodness. But
The only way to
Level of
tell.
racism.
but yes, Irina's picture should be there, but I think Jorin is standing in the same space as her.
Oops.
Get out the way.
There's her haircut.
She looks awesome.
I gotta zoom in. This token. She looks badass and not related to her brother at all.
So stepping inside of the mansion after she's allowed you in, you see that it is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. There are noticeable oddities that are boarded up the noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in every room. The burgomaster is in a side drawing room, on the floor, lying in a simple wooden coffin surrounded by wilting flowers and a faint odor of decay. So,
Who was in the coffin?
the previous burgomaster, who is their father.
Burgomaster.
Yeah, the lead of the village.
My condolences. Did your father pass recently?
Before I get to that, I'll just describe Irina. So Irina introduces herself. From what you can see, she's a striking young woman with auburn hair. And she still seems...
seems like anything.
Oh, she seems still kind of wary of your presence, but she's willing to open up since you seem curious about her father. I know I wrote it down. Oh, there it is. So, she opens up that wolves and other terrible creatures. There you go. But yeah, she's willing to open up to you. She goes, you see, there have been wolves and other terrible creatures that have been attacking the house night after night for weeks. Our father, Kolyan, he could barely handle the stress, and about 3 days ago, his heart gave out. Although, the strange thing is, since his death, none of the attacks have occurred again. The only thing that truly upsets me is we haven't been able to give him a proper burial that he deserves.
Do you need help transporting him up to the local burial grounds in the north?
Forgot you meted that.
Oh, do we not know that that's there?
You haven't been there.
I guess we haven't. All right, never mind. I take that back. It could still be like a small, even smaller town. We get shrunk down and hang out in there.
Each square is supposed to be about 40 feet.
Well, I mean, if you look at the gravestones as like even smaller houses.
Oh, okay. I remember, what was it? Was it last session you were like, are those tiny teeth or a graveyard? But yeah, so, she she's like, yes, I would very much appreciate it. I know people have been wanting me to get out of this town, but I refuse to leave unless he's taken to the church up north. Like you, up there is Father Donovich, and he's our local priest that can aid with the funeral.
Why do people want you to leave the town so badly?
Well, my brother here is Mark. I understand. He wants to see me somewhere safer so that Strahd no longer visits me. But everyone else around this village seems to mostly avoid me.
I guess they don't want to anger the wrath of Strahd if anything were to happen to you.
Potentially. Not many speak to me for me to understand why.
Well, don't worry. Our lot here, we fear no man and will greatly treat you with any respect and admiration you deserve.
I just went to ask her, is this how you're supposed to get a lady?
You whisper that to me?
Yeah.
In time, brother, in time.
But Ismark, seeing that everyone seems to be getting along, offers some beds in the spare rooms of the mansion for you all to rest in.
Dope.
Hella
Yeah.
tight, yo.
So you guys, anything that
Man,
you
that's
did,
the tea.
anything that you guys didn't have that wasn't full, like your spell slots or your health, that would be maxed out.
All right.
No, I had a rough time last time, so I'm glad I'm at full.
It's been a week tracking the old lady, slowly just like racking up points of exhaustion and damage. Yep. Used up all your sword spells.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, you cast sword.
But yeah, once you guys have all your... Yeah.
I want to switch one of my spells.
Okay.
Just a shield for protection from good and evil.
Okay.
I won't change them at all.
And then do you want us are we going to bed instantly, or like, is it the next day, or?
Yeah, I'll say that it's, what was it? If it was early afternoon when you left Death House, you hung out at the bar for a few hours. It's probably noonish now. Saying you probably guys went to bed maybe around like 2 a.m. and then up and ready around noonish.
Alright.
Cool.
Okay. But yeah, so whenever you guys have all your stats reset, I'll continue on.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
I'm good.
Oh, wait, let me...
Aye, Commander. Whoa.
That didn't sound so good.
It's all good. I just grabbed a pretzel.
Oh, I thought like notebooks fell off your lap or
Is it-
something.
It was such a loud pretzel.
Loudest pretzels ever.
I just ran downstairs to grab a pretzel.
Oh. All right. So yeah. So you guys are up and getting ready. Do you have any questions for anyone before you guys start to head out with the casket and Ismark?
Does it have wheels or are we carrying it?
You have to carry it.
Oh, we
Alright,
can't just
okay.
put it on wheels and have a bungee cord between the two of us as we climb up and down the catacombs of our dead parents.
Are you trying to hobo bag her dead father's body?
Well, good luck, guys. I don't have much help here.
You can like carry it from the middle, like underneath, right?
Well, I have 17 strength, so I got this.
All of it?
So,
You'd have this.
so you're just gonna throw this over your shoulder and just carry it?
I mean, I don't want to, but like, you know, I'd like help. I meant that I at least have like one other person. I can't imagine that one person, you know, plus
Well,
me can't
I'd
do
imagine.
this.
Does this coffin have the poles for pallbearers?
No. It's a
Oh.
makeshift one that they made from materials, so... I mean, you guys could add things to help it be easier to carry.
Can Romero just lift it?
You could probably lift one half of it easily enough.
Alright.
I am going to fix some of the smell with this perfume I have.
Do you have perfume?
I have perfume, yeah. I got perfume, a wax seal, some soap, like
You don't
diplomat
have
wax.
Whoa, hold on. You have soap too?
Soap?
You be the clean boys.
In case the coffin gets stuck someplace, we can lather it up and slide it through.
I got a danger whistle.
Why?
Because you're around.
What? I will not stand for these accusations against my character.
Do you have a danger whistle for old ladies that you flip carts over for instead? Okay.
You just make
No,
like a
My
policeman.
guy was more imagining that he'd be able to call this lady a witch and then we just all burn her. But that didn't happen. He didn't really know what to do from there.
You weighed more than the duck. I can't help you.
Back in the Sword Coast, we could just burn old ladies in the middle of nowhere. Like,
This is vampire territory. Like, witches, Frankensteins, and werewolves are his best friends. You gotta...
Alright, so
It's
Romero,
fire you gotta be careful of.
as you're all kind of bickering about it, you notice a loud dragging noise of wood scraping on wood, and you see Romero's like squatting and pulling the coffin towards the entrance. Ismark,
Well, I immediately go help him.
okay, and Ismark also rushes to help him pick up the other half of the coffin, so that you have at least 3 people on it right now.
Does it look like they have a good handle on this?
It seems to be. Between Fench and Romero, they could have probably carried it fine on their own, and Ismark is able to help balance it out.
Nah, I'm just gonna let them go. I'm not gonna help.
You could just hover hand it by there.
Ooh. I don't know if I could pull that off. I think they'd know.
But yeah, so how do you guys want to lead it? Do you want the guys with the coffin to lead the way to the church?
No, let's pop them in the middle.
I think, what's her name?
Is it? Yes, sister leading us.
No, she's gonna stay in the home until the burial's taken care of.
I go up to the brother and I'm like, does that seem safe for her to stay here by herself?
He kind of like nods towards the windows. He's like, this place is pretty heavily barred. We've taken precautions, and attacks haven't continued. Also, vampires, they can't enter unless invited into the homestead.
Are we sure about that, or is that some Twilight bullshit?
It's been the case in this town for as long as I've known.
Twilight, you
Okay.
mean that dreadful play?
It could be a book.
And plus, as long as we're not gone too long, it should be fine. Vampires can't be out during the day.
You're right. Let us go.
All
Or
right.
do you think it would be good if one of us stayed back to protect her just in case?
I thought I trusted you, but I can't tell what intentions you planned with my sister.
The
Aiden can
utmost
probably handle
honest.
Please join us in aiding with his burial.
Oh, I will lead us there, of course.
Just to help out Ismark, Romero feigns slipping on one side. Oscar, perhaps you could grab this side.
Oh yeah, you know what? Let me come help you with that. And I hover hand it.
All right.
Sorry, Romero's seen him do this before, so he knows that's what he's doing, but he knows he can't walk away.
So, Aiden, where do you put yourself in position with? I'll say
I
that
walk behind it.
behind it. So we'll say it's kind of like that. And then Jobobio.
We'll be behind it with Aiden. We'll let
Okay.
them take the lead with the coffin.
So the four of us like forming a square of coffin bringers.
Pretty much. So let me just get you guys so I don't accidentally bring Irina. Nope, that still brought her.
Come on, Irina, you know what it means at this moment.
So the walk is a bit far. But you guys get there within about an hour or two. Obviously being
Ooh.
slowed down by the size of the coffin. And you find yourselves outside of this building, which is the church. What you see as you approach is that it's atop a slight rise, and against the roots of the pillar stone that support... wait. Hello? I can't... Sorry, I
Hi.
mixed up half of my notes. It does sit atop a slight rise above a hill, and the church, it has obviously been weathered by the assaults of evil creatures for centuries on end and is worn and weary. There's a bell tower that rises toward the back, and there's a flickering light that shines through the holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. The heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire.
I guess if this is up on a hill, the town's not worried about, like, you know, a good rainstorm giving a runoff of bodies down.
Very healthy. But yeah. So, how do you guys want to approach?
Holding the coffin, I'd imagine.
Well, I would think that the guy who lives here should lead us into the church.
All right.
I agree.
So then Ismark asks if someone else can take his position on the coffin.
I can hold it for him.
Okay.
I think Jordan can get it.
So Ismark tries to knock, and you hear a heavy echo from the knocking of the church doors, but you don't hear any kind of answer. But while he was knocking, Ismark noticed that the door kind of is opened a bit, and he decides to take a chance and pushes the doors open, and they open with ease.
Convenient.
I mean, it is a church.
Yeah.
Oh, Spidey sense.
So the doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. There are 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, that lead to adjacent chambers. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer. Suddenly, the prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from beneath the wooden floor.
This place doesn't seem very friendly.
I put
No,
the
that's
coffin
cool.
down.
That's just where they keep the pastor kids.
Yes. As they're all arguing, Jorin...
we're holding this coffin. Can you look ahead?
Sure, I'll scout ahead.
Come
So,
on, Sorty, this is your
Die.
job.
yeah, so as you stand inside, you don't see anything outside from the doors that you immediately saw. You'd have to go in further to really see anything. But inside of the hall, you could put down the casket if you rest of you would like to explore as well.
No, let's just get this guy in the ground as fast as possible.
I would like to creep around before my compatriots join me inside here, I guess.
Okay, so there's the 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall.
I say I would kind of go up and listen to them individually, see if I can hear anything behind them.
Okay.
I'm gonna light my bullseye lantern.
Okay, it's not dark. It's not terribly dark in here. There's still sunlight peering through because the shingles are a bit loose, but it does help a bit. So you're listening to some of these doors. The doors themselves don't give off any particular type of noise, but as you go deeper into the hall, you're getting closer to the chapel of the church, and that's where you can hear the prayer and the screaming a little bit louder.
A little bit louder now. A little louder.
Like, can I see the chapel, like, into, like, the chapel area?
Are you leaving the hall to enter the chapel, or are you just trying to peer in from the hall?
I would start out just trying to peer in from the hall.
Okay, yeah, what you can see is the debris left in it from it being unkempt, but nothing standing out at the moment.
I will try to sneak my way in unnoticed then.
Okay, roll a stealth.
Oof.
Oof.
So, as you attempt to stealth your way in, you happen to hit with one of your feet one of the pieces of debris that kind of knocks it forward on the floor, hitting another piece and creating kind of a thunk that echoes through the otherwise quiet hall. The whole party behind you could definitely hear it, and the prayers that you were hearing in a soft whisper seem to stop, and you hear someone kind of get up from where they were standing.
Well, guessing that I've kind of been found, I'll say hello.
You kind of hear a hoarse voice from in the hall. He's like, "Hello."
So, hello, is there someone here who can assist with a burial?
That would be me. I'm Priest Donovich.
Priest Donovich? We have, I have Ismark outside with his father, who's, we would like to bury him here.
Yes. The poor man, his poor heart gave out. I would gladly help. So you see kind of this man turn the corner, and he's
We get an echo again?
slightly, I don't know who it's coming from.
Fench.
Shouldn't be me.
That help?
Let's see. Yeah.
So I guess I would motion to everyone if they can see me to come bring the coffin in.
Can we see him?
Yeah, you'd be able to see him. He's
All right,
not
then,
like
yeah,
far
we'll-
down the hall.
We'll waddle on up. Waddle on up. Waddle on up.
Doo, doo, doo.
So do we still hear the screaming while we're inside?
Yeah, you do hear periodic screams. As you guys head inside and into the chapel, you realize that the screams are shouting that it's hungry and it's starving and it can't handle it any longer.
Oscar, seems like a bad place.
Well, they're just kind of hungry. I mean, we got some rations we can give them, right?
But now that you're all inside with the casket, you all get to see what Donovich looks like. He's a pale older gentleman with gray hair that's pushed back by the means of his own grease from not really taking care of himself. His voice is hoarse and meek, and he has a crazed look in his eyes. After seeing the casket itself, he gets excited and is eager to help. He's like,
"Whoa, calm down, man. This is a funeral after all."
It's like, yes, but I'd like to offer the soul of Kolyan to finally be out of this awful town. He was the previous burgomaster, and I'd like to see him put it to rest properly. Again, sorry for your loss, Ismark.
What's that going on with that screaming?
Oh, that's why my voice is so hoarse. I've been praying all this time for my son.
Is he going through his period? Like, what's going on here? Not period, the other thing. The one all teenagers do.
Oh no.
Puberty, that's the one. Period, puberty, tomato.
He
Can I roll for embarrassment?
how red you become.
I don't have that.
No shame.
No shame. Donovich kind of coughs a bit. No, he's one of the souls that went to try and deal with Strahd, and he did not come back the same as how he was when he left.
Oh.
So I'm seeking aid and an answer to how I can bring him back to who he once was without harming him.
Aiden, do you have any spells that might assist on this?
I don't really deal with madmen.
Fair.
You're more of a Boardwalk Empire kind of guy?
Just look at Oscar in confusion.
He's really into his telenovelas.
Yeah, but so yeah, Donovich also brings up, he's like, I realize you want this burial done as soon as possible, but is it alright if we try to wait till the morning? It will take a few hours to dig out a plot, and I don't want to encounter the march of the spirits from the cemetery.
Well, lucky for me, I brought a shovel.
I mean, yes, but how fast can you dig a 6 foot deep, 6 foot long, and 3 foot wide plot?
Well, how many shovels do you have? Well, a bunch of us could do it pretty fast.
See, this is something I have confidence in myself.
You dig.
Also, wait a second. You knew the guy had died. You even knew it was a heart attack, and yet you didn't prepare a hole?
Well, burials don't happen often in this town anymore.
Yeah, but you can just keep a hole open, and when one person comes in, you can take your time digging up another hole.
Oscar, the man seems very concerned about his son. I'm not sure digging holes is at the top of his priority list.
You take a bad boy, you put him in the desert, dig a hole, he turns him into a good boy. Simple knowledge. As long as you avoid the spotted lizard, you're fine.
I don't know where you've gained your knowledge, Oscar.
I haven't read that
Never.
one, Oscar.
Very small town.
That's right. Jorin, were you from their hometown, or you were just passing
Yeah, I
help?
think he was.
I lived outside of their hometown.
Oh yes, the woods.
In the woods.
But yes,
So I'm familiar with their town.
but yes. Is that all right with all of you?
Waiting?
I think we should dig a hole.
Yeah, let's just,
Yeah, I'm gonna dig a hole.
we're just gonna dig a hole.
I got the shovel. I need to use it.
Okay, I'm gonna stay in here for now and continue praying. I guess you guys can come back to me once you've created the hole.
Well, do you think your son could help dig a hole? Might be therapeutic.
I don't know that he can be trusted around others.
I'll be fine. We're like, 5 grown-ass adults. If he starts any shit, we'll put him in his place.
And then you
Respectively.
proceed to hear screaming of how hungry he is and pounding, just loud pounding from beneath the wooden floors.
When was the last
Yeah,
time
I'm
you
not
fed
dealing
him?
with that.
Maybe you should give him a snack or something.
I haven't found food that satiates him.
Have you tried human flesh?
I have none to spare.
Oscar, you're a very strange man.
Your own brother.
Dealing with villains
Hold
and
up, hold up,
vampires.
hold up. I want to understand this. You were complaining about me beating up an old woman, and you want to feed a child human flesh.
I'm not saying it's the ideal situation, but if he went to a vampire and got cursed, usually curses are bad and need, blood sacrifices. Not saying it's the
Oscar's
ideal
read
thing, but
a lot of fiction books. I'm not exactly sure which one he gets this from.
when this guy attacks us and he stops being hungry because he's eating one of you guys, I'll be right. And I guess one of you will be dead. Hope it's not me.
I'm sorry, what?
All right, so which one of you are going to help dig a plot, and which one of you want to stay and look around the church?
I am
Oh,
going to
yeah.
dig a hole.
I'll go in the whole helping community.
I stay behind.
Okay, so you guys kind of like walk through the chapel into the backyard.
I'll help dig the hole.
Romero?
I guess I'll stay back with Aiden.
Okay. So yeah, so there are the 4 doors in the hallway that you haven't looked, that Jobobio didn't look through when he first entered the building.
Sure, blame me.
So there's 4 doors.
Yes, 2 on either side of the hall, like to your left and to your right.
I'll check one of the ones on the right.
Okay. The one closest to you or the one closest to the chapel?
The one closest to me.
Closest to you. Okay, so what you find there is a dirty, lightless room that contains a wooden bed with a straw-filled mattress. Mounted above that bed's headboard is a wooden holy symbol.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing seems to stand out as anything to look for. Like, there's no valuables from what you can tell. It's pretty empty. It seems unused.
Gotcha.
About you, Aiden. Oh, is Marcus back here as well? So you guys are here.
Is the priest doing anything?
He went back, and you can hear him whispering his prayers in the back of the chapel.
I guess I shut the doors to the church and then check one of the other rooms.
Okay, same side as Romero or the opposite side?
Whichever is furthest from the priest.
Okay. So the one closest to you, you find is an office. There's an old desk chair. Oh, wait. Actually, I think there's actually... There is. Okay, this is on me.
Is there a map of the church?
Yeah.
Damn you!
And then I'll make your icons back to the size they should be.
Whew.
No, my map didn't change.
Didn't? Oh. This.
Now it did.
It's pitch black.
Wow.
Oh, that's because we're outside. Zoom out a little bit.
Oh, I zoomed in instead of out. And then is Mark will be out here. There you go. So there's this room and this room, right?
Yeah.
I imagine this place differently.
So wait, I went into which room first?
I had read out that you went into
This one on the left.
yes, that's the
You need to
one.
set it up so I can walk. So I can't walk through walls.
Wait, the settings. It's not even in the setting for the page.
Should be a page setting. Remember?
Yeah, I opened up the page settings. I don't see the grid enabled. Enforce line of sight. Oh, restrict movement. There it is.
Now I'm locked in this room.
That's
Aiden, save me.
I can't get through.
all right. So then, yeah. So I had read out this room to you, Stryder. So, Aiden, which room did you want to look at?
I guess there's one next to me.
This one.
Opposite Romero.
All right. So looking into that room, you see that there's a trap door in the back corner. Time and neglect have punched holes in the ceiling of this moldy room, which contains a few broken roof shingles amid puddles of water. In one corner is the trapdoor that is shut with a chain and padlock. This is where the young man's screams of anguish can be heard through.
Next room.
All right. So, Aiden, through that room, you have found an office. There's an old desk and chair that stand against the south wall, and there's a wooden holy symbol mounted above them. The holy symbol is a sunburst. There is a 10-foot-long iron rod attached to the north wall that stands bare, suggesting that a tapestry once hung there. Against the far wall stands a wooden cabinet with 4 tall doors. And
Can I identify the holy symbol?
Sure. As far as, let me double check if there's any more information. Right now, the DM guide just tells me it's a sunburst. And actually, Donovich doesn't make a mention to it later. You recognize it as to some type of Morning Lord, or the Morning Lord.
Okay. Can I sneak into the room?
Donovich seems very focused with his prayers.
Alright. Let's check out the desk.
Okay. So looking at the desk, on the seat of the chair, there is an empty wooden pour box. Going through the desk drawers, you find a few sheets of blank parchment, along with a couple of quill pens and dried up jars of ink.
So it's not really being used.
Nope.
And then this cabinet.
For its size, you realize the wooden cabinet contains very little. Opening it, you just find a tinder box, a few wooden boxes of candles, and 2 well-used books. One titled Hymns to the Dawn, and that is a volume of chants to the Morning Lord, and the other is The Blade of Truth, the uses of logic in the war against diabolist heresies, as fought by the Olmist Inquisition. A strange book that mixes logic exercises and lurid descriptions of fiend-worshipping cults. What are you guys doing?
I don't know. It's just fun.
All right, Romero, what are you doing?
I guess I'll open this door.
Okay. So through that room, you find a dirty room that contains a wooden bed, also with a straw foam mattress. Next to which rests a small table with an oil lamp burning brightly on it. Mounted above the bed's headboard is a wooden sun-shaped holy symbol.
There's like a nightstand.
Mm-hmm.
I'll loot the nightstand.
All right, you rifle through it to find nothing of value.
Cheapskates.
It's a church.
Can I take the cult book and like read it?
Yeah. So it just seems to have some, various logic exercises, and it involves descriptions of fiend worshipping cults mixed together.
Any in particular, or just generally?
Just generally, nothing seems to stand out about to you as you're skimming it at the moment.
I'll go back to the coffin.
Okay, so Romero, you're in the chapel right now?
Yes.
Okay, so actually hanging out in the chapel and not just bringing the casket outside, you see that it is in shambles. There are overturned, broken pews that litter the dusty floor. What? What?
It's the echo.
Oh. Where was I? Dozens of candles mounted in candlesticks and candelabras light every dusty corner in a fervent attempt to rid the chapel of shadows. At the far end of the church is the claw-scarred altar, behind which Priest Donovan is kneeling at. Next to him, he has a long, thick rope that stretches up into the bell tower. From beneath the chapel floor, you can hear the young man's voice crying out again, "Father, I'm starving."
I'm just gonna slowly wander back to Aiden and say, "This place is fucking creepy."
Yeah, it's quite run down.
Yeah, the child in the basement screaming does not help.
Yeah, we should probably finish this up quickly.
Agreed.
Oscar, did you roll a strength check for me yet? I saw that others have.
Oh, sorry, I can do that.
Just a check. You don't have to do a save.
Check. Okay.
Nobody can dig holes today.
15.
Okay. Romero and Aiden, are you heading outside now?
Like with the body?
Towards the cemetery.
I thought we had the body out here with us.
Yeah.
Oh. Then yeah, that's where I was going to.
I don't think any of these are doors, but we'll just say, are they doors?
There are windows that you can jump through because all the glass is broken out.
This is true. Alright, so you two also make strength checks for me.
Ha-cha-cha.
Who now?
Okay, so I'll say, with you all working together, you're able to dig a hole big enough to encase the coffin. It might not be the perfect grave that you'd expect in a cemetery, but it's deep enough, and it took you guys only a few hours, and it's not too late into the evening yet.
Woo!
So yeah, so who's gonna head back to let him know?
Yeah. Do we need him?
I got decent AC.
Need him. He's gonna perform the burial rites. You can't just put a body in the ground.
I think shouldn't Ismark go back to let him know?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Alright. I walk up to him and like put a hand on his shoulder.
Donovich seemed startled. He was so engrossed in his prayers that he wasn't expecting to have to be interrupted. Poor Romero. Are you already ready? It hasn't been too long.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll head out at once. So he takes the long way as to not jump out the windows and goes all the way around the building. And is outside with the rest of the group to look at the burial plot you made for him.
So, this is a door here?
No, I said that he took the long way and went through the front doors, but I didn't want to, like... I
And
just dragged him over.
so you have to leave this way.
Technically.
Oh, okay.
But either way, for, like, RP purposes, you guys are going to end up. But you had closed the doors originally, Aiden, that's why. Yeah. We can just say they keep getting open and closed as you guys go through them.
Can I ring the bell?
You ring the bell, and it is so loud that everyone gets a little startled by it as it rings through the bell tower and is loud enough to be heard through the town. But otherwise, you just hear shrieking from downstairs. It's like, it's so loud, Dad. Why do you have to do that right now? I'm so hungry.
Yeah, that sounds like a church bell, Romero.
Sorry. This seems like fun.
No, I won't hold it against you.
It'd be too heavy.
Yeah, I don't think he's tall enough to even get a grip. He'd just be trapped under the thing.
Alright.
Always with the short jokes.
Can't help it.
So Donovich looks over the grave and seems to see that it's fitting for the coffin. It'll fit him. And he begins offering prayers to the Morning Lord in exchange for Kolyan's deliverance from Barovia. And he asks that you guys help actually place him into the burial plot as he does these prayers.
Well, Romero, as you said, I'm much too short. You should take care of this.
Okay, and then Romero proceeds to haphazardly start dumping him into the ground.
Don't worry. If we ever need to bury your body, it should take just half the time.
Glad I can help.
Intense.
Yep.
No, we're
So
outside.
once he's kind of placed in the ground, Donovich also happens to kind of close off his prayers at that point. It's starting to get a little bit dark outside, and Donovich is getting nervous, and he kind of asks everyone if it's alright if they hurry inside before it gets too dark.
For the
I
ghost
agree
that's coming
instantly.
out.
He'd rather not say what might happen, but he kind of like shakingly nods while kind of also holding things back and starts scurrying back into the church.
As we walk back, I'm like, so what's the use of a holy man when they have ghosts and things floating about everywhere?
Are you asking the priest?
I am asking the priest, yeah.
Oh, he's like, this town wasn't always like this. We didn't have all of these always hanging around outside. I assume
And
you
what
just
kind
follow him.
of measures have you been taking to prevent these ghosts?
There's no powers. The ghosts, they don't seem harmful. That's not the scary. The scary thing is what happens to the people in this town. My son, for example, he's downstairs right now, and his screams for hunger, and I can't satiate it. I mean,
Well, didn't you tell me that he got that from leaving town trying to fight this vampire guy?
yes, that's what I mean. We're fighting for our freedom from this force, and yet they come back like this or dead.
Hmm.
I don't mean to sound callous. I do actually. But is it possible that it's no longer your son?
He recognizes me as his father.
Yes, he does. But the son that left and the son that has returned may not be the same.
Yes, he seems to have enough memories intact. He looks the same.
Aye. I'm just kind of wondering what your thoughts are if this condition he has is more permanent.
That I can't say. I've expended all my energy into hopes that he'll be okay. Maybe if you guys think you have some way of helping. He is down in the basement, but I've unfortunately lost the key to getting down there.
Well, how do you feed him then?
I have tried it when he first came home, but since he didn't eat anything, I had to lock him away.
So he's just been starving down there?
It's the best I can do.
Alright, here's the plan. Have you tried pretending that the spoon is a train entering the station?
That does work on Oscar. Almost anything if you pretend.
I have it. You're free to try that. Just promise me
I
that
find
you
myself quite persuasive.
I call not it.
just promise me that you won't bring him any harm. He is still my son.
I wish no harm upon him. I just know that, prayers are great, but the gods do help those who help themselves. And action speaks louder than prayers.
I've just been seeking an answer. So yeah, but Aiden had seen where the trapdoor is that Donovich has spoken about.
Yeah. I don't think that it's a great idea for us to be breaking him out without any plan.
I mean, what can we do to feed him?
I mean, quick question. Does anybody even know anything about vampires?
Well, we've been learning so much. They have to ask permission to enter a place. They like pale women, and they don't like sunlight.
And then making a vampire no longer a vampire, besides shedding it in the sun.
Stabbing in the heart tends to work pretty well.
I feel like you're
those things
ignoring the
die if you
question I'm
take their
asking.
head off.
I mean, is there other way to turn a vampire not into a vampire, like back to its original form, besides divine intervention?
Maybe give them like a holy water enema.
Okay. That is there can be an attempt there.
I mean, if Oscar wants to try it, he can. But
Oh, I'm not a religious man. It wouldn't work on me. It won't work for me. Yeah, either way.
So what's
It
the
hurt on the inside.
so what's the plan, Stans?
Well, the guy's buried. I mean, should we just head back to now do this escort mission?
Yeah, I agree with that.
our guide here's name?
Ismark?
The Burgermeister?
Yeah, the Burgermeister.
The Burgermeister, yes,
The
is
Burgermeister Meister.
What's
He
he
toys.
want to do? Do you want to try to help this guy?
Ismark kind of shrugs at you guys. He's like, I mean, I'm here to help, but at the same time, he might be too far gone.
So, should we just knock him out and shut him up?
That could be an option, yeah, to keep his father calm. Donovich seems to be at his wit's end.
Would
We
that
could also
really
just
calm him?
get the father drunk. It's not really fixing the problem, but it'll at least solve his suffering for a little bit till the next day.
Did you guys even
I'm just
bring?
making sure. Father is not in the immediate room, right?
I'll say that you guys are like he's started his prayers again and is kind of just in his own world.
Got you. Just wanted to verify that.
That you guys are talking
I mean,
loudly. We should get him so drunk he forgets about.
Has to talk about knocking out his son so he's quiet, or
I'm just saying, Oscar, if you want to take over this town, it might be best we know what this Strahd guy can do.
That is true.
Might be a good information gathering session to see what he can do to somebody.
Yeah, just so we can prevent it from happening to us.
Well, also, I mean, does he hold audience with townspeople?
Yeah,
Can we
you
meet him?
know, it's not on my list to do today.
Meet a vampire?
Yes, to have an interview with the top vampire. Usually, I don't know. I don't see things going too good that way, unless
Either way,
we're pledging our loyalty to them.
Should we carry some cloves of garlic on us just in case?
Does that work?
Well, my experience, wearing garlic just keeps anybody away.
I mean,
it's not wrong.
he didn't need garlic in the bar.
Oh,
Shut down.
shots fired.
They weren't ladies. They were
Oof, Chief.
harlots and businessmen.
I hear excuses.
I didn't see you trying to play ball.
I don't need to, my friend.
Oh, is that how you got so strong?
Okay, so Romero,
What?
you're headed to the trapdoor, but as Nanovich mentioned, he doesn't have the key to it anymore, and it's locked by chains.
Can I try the old iron key from the death house?
You try it, but it's barely too big to fit.
Damn. Does anyone have thieves' tools?
Oh, one of us does. Good. I have them. Indeed.
Jobobio should.
The key I have is too big.
Well,
It's not a problem Jordan knows of.
Yes, he's never had his keys anyone.
Whew.
oh.
Hashtag harsh.
Oh.
So
Pretend I didn't hear
does he roll for the tools? Or if he doesn't have the
Do you have
proficiency?
Then you just roll a regular d20 and add, I think it's your dex, right?
Just a dexterity check, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick at the lock a bit, and it's actually not that advanced of a lock, and you're able to pick it well with the thieves' tools, even though you're not too used to using them. And the lock pops open, and the chain falls off.
Huzzah! We have found the trapdoor.
So, who tries to open it?
I stand guard.
Well, I mean, he unlocked it. I won't take the honor of opening it away from him.
Romero was quite eager to come over here and get through the trap door, so
Idea.
we'll follow
We
his
could-
lead.
Romero,
to
open
talk
the trapdoor.
first.
So you go for it, Romero?
Yeah.
As you tug at the door, you realize that it doesn't
back
budge
away.
very quickly. It is actually appears to be swollen shut and stuck to its frame from expanding. Roll a strength check. Okay, so with your great strength, you were able to easily pry it open from where it was stuck in the frame, and being as strong as you are, you kind of accidentally pull it a little bit too hard, and one of the hinges comes loose on it.
You broke it.
All you see below is a wooden staircase that descends below underneath the church, and the screaming is louder because he hears that the door's been opened.
Did we get the son's name?
You did not ask for his name. Donovich is still there.
What was Donovich's last name?
I don't know that he was ever...
Is his name Donald Donovich?
No, Donovich is his first name.
Don Donovich.
I don't believe...
I'll just shout out real quick to Donovich. Father, what is your son's name?
It's Doru.
Doru?
Yes.
So it's Doru Donovich, eh?
Don Doru Donovich. Of the Don
Well, I
Dorus.
guess I'll go inside.
Yep. So, as you enter, you notice the screams have actually stopped.
Can I see inside this area? Where is it?
So you take the stairs down.
Yeah,
Okay.
very slowly.
Very slowly. So you find yourself here.
Oh my gosh. I use Divine Sense immediately.
I cannot see anything still.
Can you click that so I can see the distance? Okay, so you do sense a presence of strong evil.
follow
just gonna
Romero
look
down the
back and
stairs
just
as he
go,
creeps down.
I might
Just
have messed
making
up
sure.
with this.
Are we supposed to be able to see the screen right now?
If you have taken the stairs.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. I am following behind.
Okay, so Jorin, are you next?
Yeah, follow Romero down after he goes in.
Oops, that's a ruler. I need select. There you go. And then Aiden, are you next?
Yes.
And then
I just look back and I just say, guys, this guy's evil as hell. He's like super evil, like totally evil.
Well, we can't necessarily kill him.
I mean, we can,
We
but
shouldn't.
we're going to have consequences.
yeah. So
Let's try to just knock him out.
as you guys enter into the room, you realize it's an undercroft. And the undercroft has rough-hewn walls and a floor made of damp clay and earth. There are rotting wooden pillars that strain under the weight of the wooden ceiling. The candlelight from the chapel above slips through the cracks, allowing you to glimpse a gaunt shape in the far corner.
If he's evil and we're not here to kill him, we should probably just lock him back in.
We can't. I broke the trapdoor.
Let's just knock him out and then try to get this, shake the evil out of him.
I have a stupid idea.
The evil out.
Yeah, like a damp
Do you
sponge.
think since do you still have that pastry?
The pastry.
That pastry.
It's like there's an echo in here.
I guess I
It's
was the last one to have
right?
it, so I'll hand it over.
Here
Do you think he would be able to eat this since, he's... I mean, it's magical, right? So
So we should, like, feed him the
Just
pastry.
sounds like
Claims
it.
to be hungry. I'm sure he'd try to eat it.
I look back and
Yeah.
I see Ismark and I say, Ismark, go back upstairs, boy.
Alright, so Ismark goes back
dangerous.
and he waits above the trapdoor.
But gather some holy water just in case.
Where he tries to look, but he shouts and he's like, I'll try my best to find any. I don't think I spotted any earlier.
We're in a church, man. It's gotta be some somewhere.
Yes, but he seems to worship the Morning Lord. I don't know if they also use holy water.
Well, I
Maybe
have
with daylight or
I
something.
mean, if a priest piss, is that holy water? It's been purified by his body, right?
Oh, jeez. Anyway.
Well, I guess in the same regards, when he goes, when he takes a shit, that's holy shit. So
Anyway, so how are you guys approaching Doru?
friendly, I'd imagine, with outstretched
Pastry?
pastry in hand.
I just
Make
mean,
sure my shield's out at least.
how are they moving? Like,
So I'm just gonna like slowly approach first.
okay. So, as you get closer, since you're a bit spread apart, or well, no. So now you guys are in a group. Doru kind of hisses at you guys. He's like, I can smell your blood. And doesn't really know where to go, seeing that both of you are approaching at the same time.
We come from your father. We bring edibles for you to eat.
Edibles? I don't crave edibles.
What do you crave?
I crave blood.
See, guys, told you. You thought I was
mean,
crazy.
It's a blood pie.
I can smell that pie. It's not blood. It smells of children's bones.
There's blood in them, isn't there?
Oscar, I think your pie is made out of small children.
I was right.
Is that all you say? I was right. She was making children into pies.
I'm not gonna lie, my guy kind of has a second mission right now of just leaving this and finding the old woman and just murdering her in the street.
While you guys are kind of shouting at each other, you notice that Doru starts trying to, like, sneak past where the group
Oh,
is.
wait. Stop moving.
Are you?
So, does Doru have fangs like his profile picture has?
Yes.
I just want to say I still cannot see anything.
Oh, do you need to turn on a lantern for him? Hops?
Oh yeah, you turn on your bullseye, right? And here,
Yes.
can you see things now?
Oh, that's cool.
I forgot to check his has sight option. It's fine. It's okay. I'm getting used to this whole Roll20 life.
You're already more skilled than I am.
And then you have the bullseye lantern. Which one of you also had it? Was it Oscar?
Yeah, I have a lantern.
So
Oscar has a regular lantern, though. Bullseyes are cone.
What would the angle be for that?
45, I think.
And then it's 60? 60?
Yeah.
Alright, how does that look?
Unchanged.
Unchanged. It might be bright enough.
Correct.
This is a 60-foot cone.
And then 60 feet of what?
Yeah, I put it
Does it turn on that all players see the light?
they would for the lantern, yeah, but you said it's unchanged. Is it bright enough down here without it, or is it still dark?
Nothing has changed from whatever you've been doing.
Okay. Anyway, so can you see, what do you see right now on your screen?
I see.
You are also next to a wall, so you may not see past it much.
That's what I see.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's everything.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, but yes, Doru attempts to, so you're commanding him, Romero?
I didn't use command. You don't hear me using a spell.
Oh.
Wasting a spell slot on this little shit.
He looks at you and he makes eye contact and he kind of like hisses at you and tries to see if he can find another way around you two. He's kind of like darting his eyes left to right.
What are you trying to get out?
I need food.
Well, eat this ration, and I throw a thing of rations at his feet.
He looks at it, he kind of sniffs it animal-like and just pushes it away. He's like, no, not good enough.
I mean, could you try it? Maybe it tastes fine.
It smells awful.
Well, it's because it's hardtack. I mean, hardtack's pretty awful.
No, it just smells like dust and clay. It's just, I can smell the blood in your veins and I'm so hungry.
Not gonna alarm you, but you're probably a vampire.
I don't know what I am anymore. I just need to eat.
Probably a vampire. You know, you're cursed now, son. Now there's like 3 options we have. We can try to help you, try to figure this out. It's gonna be hard work. Don't want you killing any of us, but we can get it done. All right, with some prayers, some holy water, we can find a cure possibly, but it'll take a lot of self-control for you.
I don't have the self-control.
Then it leads us to 2 other options.
Rope.
You can either let your father live out in peace and no longer harm this town and take your own life, or we'll have to do it for you if you can't control yourself.
He kind of like makes an animal like jeering noise. He's like, I don't, these aren't good options. Just if I eat, I'll be fine. I'll be normal. I promise. Just give me just a little bit.
Sounds like he votes for us to end his misery.
Well, wait. I mean, I don't know too much about. Maybe a little bit of blood will calm him down a bit.
I'm not sure you know much about a vampire. It just makes them hungrier.
What do you want to try doing, Oscar?
Do we have an empty vial or something?
Aiden, do you have any? You might have.
For what?
Gonna give him a small peace offering.
I have
That's my vote.
I've got a bottle of ink, oil, or holy water.
Oh, you don't have any empty vials for him?
Alright, well wait. I got a bottle of ink. I'm just gonna dump the ink out. Dump
Okay.
that ink out. I'll just do that. And then I'll take my my small
Use the
dagger.
oil instead if you're just gonna dump it.
He's
Dump the... Well, I was using my own ink.
Fench is visibly upset by this. That was 10 gold.
What?
Ink is really expensive, Oscar.
Don't dump out the ink.
Alright, then I'll dump out the oil instead.
We'll say that you started to tip out the ink, and as soon as you started to tip the jar, Aiden and Fench both saw what you're doing and audibly gasped and caused you to pause.
I'll do it with the oil instead. I'll dump out the oil. I'll get take my dagger out. Cut my like.
Scream
I don't know.
at Oscar, asking him what he's doing.
What's that?
Scream at you, asking what you're doing.
While you guys are kind of
Giving him a
distracted,
little bit of blood. See if that'll fix him.
he tries to scoot between,
I block him. Hey, wait.
and then he kind of like cowers back.
He's obviously a vampire. There's no stopping him. You can't bring him back.
So he
Maybe
scoots
he's
on,
like half vampire or something. Here,
and he
take
sees.
this vial.
He takes it from you and sniffs it. So what have you filled it with exactly?
Oh, sorry, I cut myself and fill it with my own blood.
Ye old blood.
Yeah, a little bit of blood on there.
All right. He kind of like sniffs it and he kind of like winces his nose because he can tell there's been other liquid in it, but he tries it anyway because it smells close enough to blood and he hasn't had food in long enough. And he takes a sip and seems to kind of calm down and try to nurse the bottle once it empties.
Well,
Alright.
no, he did calm down.
See? Maybe we just gotta get him like a fresh thing of like cow blood or something. Go to like local butchers. We can solve this problem. Be fine.
He kind of eyes you up, Oscar, though, and kind of
I
looks at...
swear to God, child, we are going peacefully or death. The choice is yours. If you can hold off a moment, we'll drain a cow or something.
We broke the door on the way in. I don't know if there's any way you keep him down here anymore to keep him from getting more blood, Oscar.
We'll put like one of the pews on top of it or something. We can sit on the door. It'd be fine.
So he
I'm
kind
just
of...
gonna sit here guarding this guy forever. I mean, don't vampires live forever?
I don't know you were
Ugh.
volunteering for that job, Oscar.
No, I'm just saying, give it a moment. We'll get him some like cow blood to calm him down, and maybe we'll just take a daily dose of pig blood or something.
You guys promised to bring me more blood?
Yes, we promise to bring you more blood.
Is there anything you want to know? I'll tell you things if you bring me more blood, if you promise.
Yes, we actually do need to know about the vampire's lair and everything. You've been, right?
I don't remember that so well. Not so much anymore. It feels like so long ago. Also, as a side note, Stryder and Maker, there's someone in the chat you guys would recognize that's screaming at all of you. So yeah, so he
How do you view the chat?
I can
You have to be watching her on Mixer.
I can put the link in the party plane and stuff.
Ooh.
Anyway, so then he kind of like explains. He's like, what I remember right before I turned into whatever I am now, there was a mage that came to this town, and he ranted and raved about how we're all going to be set free from Strahd's tyranny if we all just band together and go to his castle. And I the scary thing is, it's just not Strahd. He's got creatures to do whatever he wants. He's got the wolves. He's got the rats. It's so much, but I don't remember what happened once we entered the castle. But I just remember being so hungry and coming back to my father and then being locked up down here.
Well then, we'll maybe after you eat, you can regain some of your composure and think more about this.
So you're gonna give me more right now?
We have to go get more.
He kind of like slouches, but he's like, fine, just please come back.
All right, I'll be right back. And I walk backwards towards the steps. I don't trust my back to him. He's an addict.
Doru sees that Romero's by himself, and he's like, he gets the eager look in his eyes, but then he looks at his armor and can't seem to find a spot where he could attack. He seems to be calculating where he could lunge at you, Romero.
You sizing me up, boy?
You just smell so good, but you're not human, are you? and then you've got that little cute pet with you.
Don't you bring Bungie into this? I'll break you.
I mean,
He's like a juice pouch. It wouldn't make you more thirsty afterwards.
Oscar, you don't talk about Bungie that way.
Just kill this thing.
And then Doru, he's like, "You're all alone though. Your friends left you. They won't miss you, right?"
We are all in earshot of him, right?
What'd you say, Stryder?
I'm still.
We're still like right there, though, right?
Yeah, but he's separated from you guys, so Doru is sizing him up.
Come on, brother. Let's go.
This is folly.
I don't trust leaving this vampire down here to not exit, not run away, and wreak havoc on this town.
Yeah.
Well, once we pump him full of blood, he'll calm down. It should be fine.
We should probably stay on guard then while you go get the blood.
All right. Do you guys want to guard?
No, I think Oscar should stay and guard him.
Fench, do you seem to have an idea of what you'd like to do to Doru?
I have rope, and I think since we have such few options, that we should just tie him up. Or do you think he's just going to snap it like a twig?
Well, we can tie him up.
Yeah, it just seems sensible.
Yeah, I mean, Fench, looking at him with your soldier experience, you can tell he's definitely been weaker, having not been fed, so you don't anticipate him being able to break through it very easily. Like, he has had the little bit of blood to calm him, but he's still not, he's still clearly starving.
Gotcha. Okay. My ASMR
Also,
friend.
Lexi, I do plan on
Romero.
bringing him this cow blood. I am getting this guy cow blood.
You're dedicated.
Yeah.
Well, we can fix him probably. That's my plan.
My favorite part are
Yes.
these conflicting morals.
Do you have
Well,
any
it's
idea
only
how to
conflicting
fix a
morals.
vampire?
You just subdue him with blood, cow blood. I don't think the
That's not fixing.
You got a better plan?
Gonna be honest, I think
Shoot
we
him in
should
the head
just-
with an arrow.
I agree.
He's still just a child. I think he has a chance to live. We should give him that.
Oscar, he's sniffing me like I'm a damn porterhouse.
That's because we haven't fed him blood. Get back
And
away
he's
from
just
him.
going to get stronger the more blood we feed him.
Look, I'm sure if we
you're just asking for trouble at this point, my man.
Oscar,
If he's
this
willing
is-
to let us tie him to one of the pillars, is the only option I'd give him.
These
Alright,
pillars
alright.
are very strong.
Are they? I give a good lean on a pillar.
You can hear it cracking because of the rot. They already seem to be working their hardest to keep the wooden ceiling above you up, but they've
At the
seen
worst,
better
he brings
days.
the church down on him if he breaks the pillar.
Listen, Oscar, I understand the compulsion to try to help this man, but unless you're going to stay in this town and research a cure for vampirism for however long that takes, there's not a change here. And he's
Ah,
dangerous. He will escape, and he will do something.
we've already seen him calm down a bit with just a small sample of blood. I'm sure if he just gets a steady supply of it, he won't need to actually hunt people.
Wait,
So,
Romero's already
who's supplying it?
found he's evil, right?
Yes, he's detected it magically.
Or divinely.
Divinely, yes.
Divinely.
Using his paladin and Azamar knowledge.
Hmm. I mean, I refuse to leave him here free.
Can we put like a holy symbol around his neck or something to like weaken him?
Let's see if holy symbols weaken him. I pull out my holy symbol.
He does not seem to flinch from it.
I don't think it works, Oscar.
Any other bright ideas?
I'll go get Cowblood. I'll be right back. If you guys want to watch him, that's fine. If you want to kill him, I'll be no part of it. Coming back with Cowblood, though.
So that's a yes?
So I ready my crossbow?
I leave.
Should we leave Oscar alone?
Ismark is upstairs with him.
Maybe he can ask Ismark if there are any cows in town to get blood from.
Well, I'm just gonna go to like,
Hey, man.
is there a butcher in town?
There is
I
from
want you to
the
think about all the starving people that are in this town.
from the buildings you've walked past, you didn't see many that were active businesses, and you didn't smell anything remotely close to a farm. Walking north and south of the west side of the village when you went to the mansion and up to the church. You also didn't notice anything similar when you were at Death House, which was the very east side of the village.
So there doesn't seem to be any livestock around.
I don't think there's any way to feed this guy.
Nothing that you've noticed, no. You can ask Ismark.
Yeah, I'll ask Ismark. Ismark. So good news, bad news. The good news, I was right. Bad news though, is I was right that he wanted blood. Do you know, are there any livestock around that we can get? We can drain the blood from. Ideally, if the butcher's market already has dead animal that we can take the blood from.
Ismark pauses and thinks. He's like, there's not really much spare food to go around. Mostly we just try to eat the grains and things that come in from the Vistani travelers. So I don't know how easily you could access that.
Where to get extra blood? I mean, we can't just summon the local women around, right? No, that'd only work like once a month, so that's not a good option.
Oh, I have no words.
Oh, damn. Ban.
Oh, gross.
So, Romero, are you with us that we can't leave this creature here?
I don't think we can allow him to be free.
Yeah, Doru is kind of skulking. He can tell that you're all planning something, but he's also, hoping that Oscar can come back with food, but he's kind of like stuck.
What if we go back and tell the priest that his son is a vampire?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
So-
that's
Go
my
ahead.
next bit was just gonna go talk to him and ask him about that.
So, Aiden, did you want to head upstairs, or?
I'm a bit
Honestly, I think that's
blunt.
going to involve us killing an old man, but hey, that's up to you.
Well, if the
Well, if we
father
kill
wants
him
to make
down
the
the basement,
sacrifice,
it's still going to be a fight upstairs.
You're not wrong, but we can either do it 1-on-1 or 2-on-1. Well, no. It's how many are there of us?
I think it could put
4
the
or
old
5.
man at peace.
Yeah, I believe in your skills. I'm not really the best with talking, as you've noticed.
Well, neither am I.
What
I'm a
are you good at
-1.
again?
You're upstairs, Oscar.
Oh, okay, fine. I do plan on talking to this old man though.
You're gonna. All right. What are you gonna explain to Donovich?
All right, Donovich, have some interesting news for you.
What
So-
is it?
It does appear that your son has attracted vampirism. He's a vampire.
That's what I was afraid of most. I knew he was some spawn of evil when he came back. I was just hoping for a way to cure him.
So we might not necessarily have a plan for a cure, but like a quick fix. If we can get blood, maybe like some local farm animals or cow blood, that can satisfy him. And if we can just give him a constant supply of that, he should be good.
Does that satisfy vampires? I thought they craved human blood.
Can you tell the difference?
I honestly don't know. I've never had to feed a vampire. I just hope you don't.
Do you want to haggle on the semantics of what kind of blood can save your son's life?
I mean, will it save him? I just hope he has no harm brought to him. That's all I can wish for as a father.
This is why I'm up here talking to you right now. Now, please tell me, do you know where a person can acquire a good amount of blood at this time of day?
I don't know. I haven't left this church since he's been back. I've just been here praying, doing my best.
Can we hear much of the conversation from the floor above us?
You can probably hear Oscar's side of it, but you can't hear Donovich because of his hushed voice.
Guys, I don't think Oscar's getting anywhere.
No.
But in your time, it seems like Doru's hunger is kind of back, and he's getting kind of uncomfortable. And having had some blood, he clearly knows, that's what he wants. And he starts trying to walk around the group, hoping for a way around. What do you guys want to do?
I charge on in.
Are you attacking? Everyone roll initiative except for Oscar. Well, I guess Oscar, you can roll initiative as well.
Alright. Oh, where's the initiative on the character sheet again?
Oh,
That's
that's cool.
course, Hop.
At least you'll have an excuse that he attacked first.
Yeah. I messed up a little bit, but
Oh, there aren't any tokens on this page that even take a turn. Gosh.
I'm fixing it. So Fench was 6.
Peace.
Oops, not that button. Right click, add turn. Romero is a 15. ActionMath, I don't know what you did to your initiative roll.
I don't know. It's 4.16 for some reason. I don't know what that. But it looks like I rolled a 1 anyway, so I'm going last.
How do you have a 4.16 to your modifier?
He rolled a 1 plus, 4.16. I don't understand.
I wonder if you know what it might be. Maybe Jacks of all trades messing with it.
Is that like a percentage thing?
It's like a half thing, so but I don't know.
Yeah, it's half his proficiency.
I get added to it. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it
That
worked
doesn't
like
make sense though.
Yeah, I feel like you had to adjust something to fix it.
Let me look into it. But either way, definitely rolled
It's
a
a-
1, so I'll be going last
Okay.
in not killing this child.
vampire.
Did you guys ever watch the movie? Wait, what's that? The little vampire kid. I forget what it's called now. My Friend the Vampire.
Yeah, where he has vampire cows.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's what you've been trying to achieve this entire time.
Vampire cows.
So Doru, in his desperation, he breaks off from the range of Fench, so you can get an attack of opportunity against him.
Cool. A second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use let's see. Wait, where is it? I don't have it. Oh, it's under the attributes thing. Hold up. Alright, so let's do that.
Okay, so an 11 does hit. So roll your damage.
Okay. Cool. Also, I'm gonna do the trip option as well. Can I do that or no?
What was that again?
Or is that? Can I do the what is it? The
Battle Master maneuver.
yeah. Or
Can
is
you-
that only on when I spend an action?
Stryder,
What
do you
does
know?
that say?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah,
use
you're
your
allowed to use it.
superiority dice to attempt to knock the target down.
Okay.
So it needs
Yeah,
to
I
make
do
a
that as
strength
well.
save.
Mm-hmm. So he gets an 11.
That would not do it.
Okay. So yeah, so in his haste, he tries to go after what looks like to be Romero after he's eyed him up and down, and you're able to trip him. Did you roll your damage yet?
I did not.
So just click the long sword, the word long sword underneath of your roll, and it'll roll your damage.
So I just hit this.
No, the word on the actual chat bar on the side. Click long sword.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah, when you do the thing, they'll the two little bars attach. Yep. So you, in Doru's haste, he goes and you're able to reach out with a foot and trip him, and you slash him across his back with your sword, doing some damage to him. And he kind of seems perturbed that you hit him, but he doesn't seem particularly hurt. But he is prone on the ground now.
He gets to add the superiority die to his attack roll.
Oh.
For
To
his
the-
damage.
Oh yes,
damage.
to the damage.
So you get to roll
Oh,
a
okay.
d8 to deal extra damage.
Yeah, my wait turn order.
Okay.
Okay.
And he does eat a little bit of extra damage as he falls to the ground. And then it is Romero's turn.
He's prone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So I'm gonna move up and flail him with advantage.
Okay. So you definitely hit. Okay. So, sorry, the rabbit's chewing on a new toy I bought him, but not the toy I unpacked from the packaging, but the one that's still attached to the packaging.
Nice.
Anyway, so yes, so Doru's laying on the ground and trying to pick himself back up, and you come around and stand next to him and bring your flail down to the back of his head, doing a significant amount of damage. And he kind of puts his head back into the dirt after receiving that blow. And then it is Jorin's turn.
I'll take a step around, so Romero's not directly into my line of fire,
Mm-hmm.
and shoot him with the crossbow.
Okay, and you get disadvantage for him being prone.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah. Advantage on melee, disadvantage on ranged.
I also get let's come up. Oh, that didn't work. I didn't bring the text with it. That's worthless. I get an extra attack, and if that extra attack hits, it does an extra 1d8
Okay.
on my first action if I attack.
Rabbit, what are you doing right next to me?
He got lucky.
Wait.
The second half's a crit.
Oh yeah, I was like, why did you mean lucky? You still hit him. Yes. So aiming, you have to take a little bit more care in aiming because he's on the floor and you're used to hitting standing up targets. So he's a little bit smaller, but you're able to aim well and hit him directly in the shoulder with one of your arrows. Go ahead and roll damage.
I can't because the tooltip is over top of my damage.
Feels bad. What dice is it? And then just put a modifier on it.
Just gonna make another.
Funny. Why are you like this? Okay, so that's the damage from it, the 9? Or is that...
I don't know. That tooltip is still on top of it.
Yeah, 9. And then you said your ability as Gloomstalker allows you a second attack?
Yeah, second attack, and if that hits, I get an additional 1d8.
Here's the thing.
As part of that attack. So if that attack, yeah, okay. So
Yeah, this is the
So,
start of your first turn of combat, so this does apply then.
Yeah. So do you want to use that roll?
Oh yeah, we can
Or
use that
I can roll
15.
again.
No, that 15's fine.
because he's still at disadvantage with it though. So
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you need to roll
That's
one
true.
more.
Just roll the disadvantage.
Okay, so your aim is not so steady this time around, but you are still able to hit Doru. You hit him in the leg this time, around his thigh, and he kind of like squeals in agony with his face in the dirt. So you can add your additional D8, I believe it was. Yeah.
So,
well, it's an additional weapon attack, so he gets the damage for the second attack plus a D8.
Okay. So then he takes 23 total points of damage from you. The 9,
Yeah.
and the 8.
Gloomstalkers are really strong at the start of combat.
I'm trying to think of math right now. That should be it. Okay, but Doru is clearly in more pain and is clutching his shoulder and is with one hand and crying out. So then it is Aiden's turn.
Although I did just think of something. He's using the crossbow, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has to reload between each shot, so you can't really... His second shot, I don't know how that works.
reload's not any actual action anymore, though.
Yeah, but the properties on crossbows is loading. You can't take 2 shots with the crossbow in a single turn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can look up.
That's a
That's fine.
terrible idea.
That's why I was wondering. I was like,
Yeah, I didn't catch me that it was heavy crossbow.
Yeah, I'll just toll in the thing.
Yeah, it does require loading and ammunition to it.
It's really just a loading property that's a problem for having multiple attacks.
Right.
But I say we just roll with it for this one round since you didn't know.
Okay. I also realized
Realized what?
he has resistance, so I just have to scroll up a little bit in the maths. 79. Okay, there we go.
Well, we got a hand crossbow, right?
He was using his heavy at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're doing the DC Wisdom save. So he does his Wisdom save. He does not pass. So being damaged, even though he's already undead, he hears the familiar rings in his head, causing him to screech out in terror as he takes this damage, reminding him of his past.
Okay. And then I will move to block the exit.
Okay.
For some reason I can't drag my token.
Oh, that is weird. It looked like it moved. Fench, it is your turn.
Yeah, I can use like the arrow keys, but I can't drag it.
Oh, that's weird.
Alright. If I go... Is that not working now? Oh, there we go. If I go right here, am I still going to be within 5 feet
Of?
Romero?
Yeah, diagonally you're 5 feet from each other.
Okay, just making sure.
Are-
And the enemies...
Is like Oscar and Donovich involved in this?
Yeah.
Because they aren't. Oh, wait.
They're upstairs.
Oh, right. I thought Fench.
I just want to make sure
Oh,
that the
it was
pillar is
the.
not...
Sorry, I was confused because Fench had already attacked, but
Yeah,
it was his
opportunity.
attack opportunity.
Does the pillar doesn't block me then, right?
It's a rotten pillar and it doesn't take up the whole space, but what are you hoping to do if you're worried about it blocking you?
I have an ability to where, on a bonus action, if somebody next to me gets to attack, I can make whatever that attack is a disadvantage.
Yeah, he has the protection fighting style, so he can disadvantage if I get attacked.
I'd say it's fine because you can see Romero beyond that pillar.
Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna attack where I am then.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Yes.
Okay, so you crit.
Shit. Nice. So, boom.
I think it automatically does the extra roll when you crit.
Yeah,
it
it looks
does?
like it. Yeah, because it looks like it's already rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. Cool. That works then.
1d8 plus 3, and then a 1d8, yeah. So it's that first one. So, seeing that you have advantage on Doru, with him laying on the ground and having already taken a couple arrows and flinching from the rest of his pain, you swing your sword back down on him, aiming for a spot where he's already been injured, driving one of the arrows in deeper, and he lets out a scream as the pain courses through him. And then it is Donanovich's turn. So Donovich can hear from upstairs through the open trap door that there's clearly some kind of fight going on, and he's worried for his son's safety. So he goes ahead and tries to head to the down to where everyone else is. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I think I forgot to roll an Ismark. And Donovich ends up at the top of the stairs and kind of shouts like, "Please, just don't hurt him. Restrain him if you have to." And then it is Oscar's turn.
I'm gonna come over to Donovic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is he in the steps?
Yeah, he's like at the top.
Can I get to him?
You can
I should
like
be able to get to him, right?
you were like here, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I was closer to this door, like to where he was. Then I was closer to the hatch than he was, so I should be able to get to him, right?
What's your speed? Is it 30?
30, yeah.
30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then if you're dashing, yeah, you'd be able to push past him and have maybe like 1 or 2 spots left to dashing because you have to push past them.
Yeah, I'll just get next to him and be like,
You won't?
we don't want to hurt him. We need blood to calm him down. If not animals, I don't know. Maybe you could donate some. If we all donate, like he'd calm down.
Donovich is
Why?
Donovich is kind of like confused in all the haze, and he's just like, I'm not sure what I can do. I just don't want to see him hurt. I'm gonna move Ismark and say that he also had a 1 since I forgot to roll him in. So then it's Ismark. So he pushes past Oscar, pushes past Donovich, and kind of stands on the stairwell and shouts like, is that his son?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Ismark
It's
seeing
not really his son anymore.
Was being the operative word.
Ismark seeing that he can't make it too close, he tries to help block the doorway from the creature, and to keep Donovich out of the frenzy. So then it's Doru's turn. When it comes to prone, does he have to make a strength check to get back up?
No, and he uses half his speed.
He just half his speed. All right. So Doru gets up and immediately tries to attack Romero. It's Ismark. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. It's Doru. So he goes ahead and he makes a multi-attack against Doru in his haste. And
Against Oreo?
or no, Doru's attacking Romero, but so he tries to first he tries the claw to get through your armor.
You're bullshit, Kate.
I don't know how I roll like this. So
I have a 19 AC, like, and she, even if I had Shield of the Faith on, like, she would cut through it like it's nothing. It's fucking stupid.
but he chooses rather than doing damage, he tries to grapple you. So the DC is a 13 for you to escape.
What do I need? Athletics?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Grappled.
Yeah, so Doru's able to keep hold of you and then makes a bite against you. Ooh.
This would be a great time to disadvantage him.
Yeah, so he does the 15 points of damage and reduces your health by the 6 points and gains that. And he looks stronger after your...
So Fench really didn't disadvantage him?
I mean,
Take a hint.
I can't work miracles, my man.
I can beat the 17. He attacked with 17. What are you talking about?
I already used it on the first attack.
You didn't say anything.
I can only use it once.
No,
per
but
round.
did anyone hear you?
I didn't hear him say it in the first. I don't know what's going on here.
I didn't hear
I don't
you
know.
announce that you were using it.
Like, he was doing the
I'm
grapple
sorry, I thought
anyway.
that was just no.
So,
My bad.
But no.
It's fine.
Yeah, but anyway, so Doru reaches out and clutches Romero and takes a bite into his shoulder and deals damage while gaining himself some strength and eating the blood that he's been starving for so long. Then it is Romero's turn.
All right, Romero's goddamn pissed off. So first I start with Necrotic Shroud because I'm fucking mad.
Mm-hmm.
And I choose Fench and the vampire. Let's make
What?
charisma saves.
And the vampire fails miserably. And is frightened of you and can't even look at you. And so is Fench.
Yeah, I'm not...
And then
Why
I'm
did you
going to...
choose me?
Why wouldn't I choose you? You just let the bitch hit me. Romero's mad.
I tried.
Romero's about to go wail on this bitch. So I get advantage because he's fucking feared, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll just roll it a second time since I forgot to click advantage.
That's fine. Okay. So you definitely hit.
Alright, is he undead?
Ba, ba, ba. Yes.
Alright, then I'm gonna Divine Smite on top of it. And deal all of that.
Okay. Alright. So then, Doru, thinking he had the upper hand, is excited that he's got prey in his grasp. And then he watches you as you transform, not only from the dark celestial creature that you are into this even more Asmar-like creature with bony wings coming from your back and your eyes becoming even darker pools, and he can't help but stare in awe and is just stuck staring and like lets go of you. You take this time to swing your flail, visibly upset and just swinging down, having no remorse for anything that might be left behind. And your divine is shadows, right? Like yeah. So then, as you're swinging down, the pure rage in you lets off a smoke that further grasps Doru in its midst, and he just screams in agony as he takes 6 to 8, a bunch of damage.
26.
He does have some resistances though, so do that, and then. But he's definitely starting to look worse from his wear, and even though he healed a bit from taking the chunk out of Romero, all of that extra rejuvenation in him is gone. So it is Jorin's turn.
My character is definitely scared.
Yes, you don't want to be Romero, but it's not your turn yet, so don't worry about it yet.
Okay.
So it's Jorin.
Cast my 100 mark on Doru.
Mm-hmm.
And then shoot the old crossbow at him again.
Okay. Oh, did you load it for your... That costs an action to load it, right?
No.
Oh, it's just you can't shoot it twice in one turn.
Apparently.
Unless you use 3 actions.
Extra necrotic.
What's it?
Hang on, Stryder. Were any of those necrotic damage? I just see bludgeoning and radiant.
No, none of those were. I didn't roll the extra.
Do you want to roll the extra necrotic?
It's just extra 3. I just deal 3 flat.
Okay.
For my level.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so you're seeing how scared Doru is of Romero. He takes no attempts to paying attention to you, and you hit him square in the chest this time. Healing that, and then you have your...
Oh.
You tickle him with your hunter's mark. You aim down your sights. You hit him in the chest, and it drives in a little bit deeper than you thought, doing some extra damage. But Doru is still so scared of Romero, he just doesn't notice the damage he's taken and just eats it. So then it is Aiden's turn.
I think I'm just gonna keep tolling.
Okay. So then his whiz save. Okay. So in his just staring at Romero, unsure of what to think of him, he's just frozen with fear, and it allows him to take all the damage from Toll the Dead, causing chunks of him to start to decay. Anything that wasn't already undead just seems to fall apart even more. So then it is Fench's turn. And you are indeed horrified of Romero's new appearance.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and attack this bugger again.
Okay. So you are able to crit on him.
Actually,
But you are disadvantaged because you're within line of sight of Romero.
Would that only be if
It's
I was
ability.
attacking him? No.
No.
when whenever I'm in line of sight of a target I've feared.
Any ability checks or attack rolls. But even if you didn't
Scared the piss out of you.
even
That's
though
fair.
you didn't crit, you still are able to hit him. So go ahead and roll damage. But you don't get the 7, right? Because that's with
Correct.
advantage. So you're able to bring your sword down, even though you're shaking in your boots, trying to do your best to avoid eye contact with Romero. You're still able to slash Joru, hitting him with your sword. So then Donovich is just in the back crying out, pleading with all of you to not hurt him.
Your son is no more. Only a demon stands before us now.
Let me see something.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I guess Jorin should have technically been affected by the transformation as well. I can't really choose targets with it. It's just anyone within 10 feet, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's my channel divinity. I choose targets, but with the shroud, I don't.
Okay, I got you.
And in Donovich's desperation in trying to save his son, tries to cast Cure Wounds on him, but oh nope, he can't anyway. He's forgot Cure Wounds is the touch one, not the distance one. Healing Word is the distance one. Is this one the ranged one? No, never mind. Anyway, so he's out of options. He just pushes past everybody and just ends up at the bottom of the stairs trying to beg for his son's life to be spared. Then it is Oscar's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna, can I get into, I don't know how to get into the room from the stairs.
You'll probably end up here because,
alright, cool.
yeah, each of these people are difficult terrain to get through. 5, 10, 15, or 10, 20, 30.
He's within 90 feet of me, right?
I can show you the ruler. So this is you and that's him.
Oh yeah, it's plenty of space. Alright, I'm gonna try to, like, come down the stairs, and I'm gonna shoot a sleep at him. If it casts for, gonna cast for me? I'm gonna come and shout out, you know, everyone calm down, go to bed.
I remember what happened last time you cast sleep.
Why's it not coming up?
It's not happening when you click on your character sheet?
Yeah, let me do it from here. Anything? Oh, okay, that's what level? I'll do it. There we go.
So, which...
So does he have 25 more? Is his health higher than 25?
It is not.
Then he falls asleep.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm injured too, so which one of us has lower health?
He is at 24.
Well, then I guess I go to sleep.
You're at 18?
Wait, does it not put my target
Oh,
to
yeah.
sleep?
It puts you pick an area, and then it goes from lowest hit points to highest.
Well, can I toss the area, like, behind him? I mean, I got 90 feet to play with.
How big's the actual circumference? Is it the 90 feet that you cast it into, or is it 90 feet range? Is it...
Wait, what's the
It's
wording of the
20.
spell?
It's a 20-foot radius. Creatures. Let's see. The spell sends creatures into a magical slumber. Hit points. The creature that's creatures within 20 feet of the point you choose within range are affected.
Thank you,
And
Jobob.
according-
I think you'd have to cast it in the corner he started in if you want just him and nobody. Or
Yeah,
well,
so I can pick, like,
Fench. Romero's out of range, but Fench is in range.
But I mean, does Finch have more than 24 health?
Yes.
Hit. So that should be fine.
Yep.
all right, then yeah.
Okay.
Cast sleep.
So you cast it here.
You know what? Question for you. Is he
No.
considered undead at this point?
He's always been?
Yeah, you read the
Yeah.
last sentence.
I did read that last sentence. So it said undead creatures immune to being charmed aren't affected by this spell.
So do you want to change your action?
No.
I was gonna be nice as DM, but okay. So
No, I'm trying to save my little boy, so
so you're casting it. How do I do the circle? Is it popping? Oh no, it's this button. Yes? Oh my goodness. There it is. So you're casting it here.
yeah.
Alright, so then you thanks everybody for letting me know the square is gonna be casted. So yes. So Oscar, you run to the stairs. What do you shout?
I said, just go to bed, and I shout out, cast sleep to try to just put him out.
Alright, so you try to cast sleep to get him to fall asleep, but Doru, between his shock and fear from Romero, and it just seems like he's completely unaffected and just stands there awake. And Fench, it looks like it should have also hit him, but he also seems completely fine and immune to the spell.
Well, since he cast it at the higher level, it's like you add that 9, so it's 34 hit points, isn't it?
Did he cast it at a higher level? Oh yeah, he did cast it at a higher level.
Oh, so it's okay, yeah, it's also the 9, yeah.
So what's your health, Fench?
Not that high.
Well, it's all right. You were terrified before, and now you're asleep.
So I take that back. Fench thought he was immune to it and suddenly came down with just a need to nap, and it's uncontrollable, and he just goes ahead and lies down next to Doru.
You will be stabbed.
Well, I'm trying to put the boy to sleep. How did I know you were going to get in the way?
He's asleep. You guys can't argue now.
Ah.
So it's Ismark's turn.
Maybe I'll feed him the pastry as he sleeps and he'll forget about it.
Ismark pushes through, so 10, 20, and just kind of pushes his way up to here. He's like, I'll try my best to aid, but I can't seem to catch up just yet. And then it is Doru's turn. So Doru spends his turn just running. He goes back and expends all his movement to go back into this corner and do his best to not look at Romero. And then it is...
Does Romero get an attack of opportunity?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Definitely hits. Anything else to add to that, or is that your full attack damage?
+3 necrotic damage from
Oh yeah, the necrotic. Yes.
for a minute.
So Doru turns around and tries his best to retreat, but Romero, in this form, is clearly attuned to whatever Doru is doing. Swings his flail down as hard as he can, hitting him in the shoulder that's already been hurt with an arrow, doing a significant amount of damage. Doru stumbles, but is still able to scoot away.
Now it's my turn.
Yes. And Doru's clearly looking like he's at the end.
Smack. Oh, I missed.
Yeah, so you run after Doru, and he's cowering himself in such a small ball that your flail actually gets lodged into the wall instead of hitting him directly. So then it is Jorin's turn.
Move up around and unleash the arrows of justice.
Justice. All right.
Are they disadvantaged because Romero's in my way now?
I
Or
think
am
I
am
wasn't
allowed
playing.
to keep normal.
I wasn't
Okay.
playing cover,
Cover.
so you're fine. You're also tiny. All right, so that definitely hits.
Damn Hunter's Mark.
Your hunter's mark is just a little bit of a tickle on top. So aiming down, seeing that Doru is coming to an end and is not willing to fight anymore, cowering in the corner for fear, you're able to make your mark and hit him with ease. And then he takes. So then it is Aiden's turn.
I hold a toll dead if he tries to run past me.
Okay. That's your full action, right?
Yes.
What happens to Sleeping Fench?
I try and wake up. I
I
guess.
think we have to wake you up.
Yeah, let me look
Is that
up.
how that works?
I think I have a page of.
Thought he got a save.
No, it's no save. He only wakes up if he takes damage or someone uses an action to wake him up.
So Fench is lying on the floor, comfortably resting after Oscar tried to get Doru to relax and calm down. So then it's Donovich's turn. So he sprints 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and tries to like hold his son and see if he can help him. And then it's Oscar's turn.
I tried to do what's right. I tried to help your kid out. You didn't have the patience to just wait for attacking. And as I say this, I'm gonna do it as a vicious mockery towards the kid.
So a wisdom save, but he's disadvantaged, right? So he is
He's not disadvantaged on saving checks.
oh, not saves, just ability checks. Okay. So he staring into the corner of the wall, he's not focusing his mind anywhere other than just, you know, dealing with his fears and knowing that Romero's next to him and he just wants to be out of the way, and agrees that he should have been more patient.
He takes that 1 psychic damage, and he now has a disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay. So then
Makes you feel better, Mike. He had disadvantage on all of his next attacks.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So Ismark comes up in an attempt, and he apologizes to Donovich, but he agrees that Doru might be beyond saving and tries to make an attack to help put Doru out of his misery. I have Ismark's sheet up somewhere. There it is. So he tries to do a multi-attack.
Damn,
So-
he's a badass. He gets a multi-attack longsword.
2 longsword attacks.
2 short sword attacks.
No, if he has a Ismark makes 2 longsword attacks.
If
If
he
you
has a short sword drawn, he can also make a short sword attack.
yeah, so he
So
only
if you can dual wield a longsword and a short sword at the same time, you
Yeah.
can technically get 3 attacks.
so he just has the
Jeez.
longsword right now.
He's a goddamn badass.
So these are his 2 attacks. He has a 14 on the first one, which hits, and then he has the 15, which also hits. So he does those 2 points of damage. So these seem to be all that it takes to kind of like take care of Doru. Doru is now on the ground, no longer shaking from fright, but also no longer breathing. Donovich kind of falls to his knees, isn't upset, crying uncontrollably, and Ismark is patting him on the back, not sure of what else he can do to alleviate the situation.
Well, I'm gonna walk back over here and kick Fench awake.
So, Fench, yeah, you're woken up to the sight that froze you in fear right before you fell asleep.
Okay, I got this.
Do you crawl? Do you run? What do you...
I'd like to think that I spider walk backwards.
You spider walked?
That's how terrified he is. He does like the backward shuffle.
Like
Yeah.
Valdo? Did you walk like Valdo from Soul Calibur?
A little bit, a little bit more stumbling with that, but yes.
All right, but yeah, so combat is over, and what do you
I'm gonna
guys?
just leave the room.
You're done for now.
I'm done. Out.
I'm gonna use my lay on hands to heal myself.
Mm-hmm. The rabbit honked as soon as you said that, and I was like, what weird timing. Alright, what do the rest of you do?
Am I still scared?
How long does it last, Stryder?
A minute.
A minute. So it's probably all done by now that you've crawled away.
Got you.
He's back to the Romero you met originally in the streets.
Fun visit you have there.
I just walk away. I don't even say anything. Go find Oscar.
Okay. What about you, Aiden?
I think I'll wait. Just
Okay.
listen in.
Romero pet spongy. To calm yourself down. That's fair. What about
him down? He gets affected by the shroud every time I use it.
No, poor bunny.
Because he's always within 10 feet of me.
Oh, I should have said that he tried to hop up the stairs or something. I completely forgot. I know you whispered something, but all right, Jorin.
Leave the priest to his grief and go back upstairs.
Fench.
I think I'm gonna stay down here for now as well.
Okay.
And just kind of watch over things.
Yeah, so Donovich, he was hoping that he could save his son, and he kind of like in the between his sobs, he explains to Ismark like he never meant for it to be this way. He tried his hardest to get an answer to save his son, but it probably is for the best that he's out of his suffering, but this was his, last of his bloodline, and he was hoping to have someone to still hold on to when all the hope in this town is gone. Ismark is clearly moved and just kind of like pats him on the back, but he has nothing that he's able to say to console him. Aiden or Fench, do you guys do or say anything?
No.
Let's look. You did all you could. Let's just give him a proper burial.
Donovich kind of snobs and
Please do that. You need your time to grieve, though.
Yeah, so Donovich, he doesn't seem ready for it yet, but he thanks you for the suggestion. Ismark is willing to. Ismark asks him if it's okay if he brings the body and moves it, and Donovich just kind of like nods quietly, still kind of frozen. So Ismark brings his body up. It is pretty late in the evening at this point now, because you guys had the original burial for Ismark's father a few hours ago. Or, well, about an hour ago, and that was late afternoon, because you guys spent some hours digging a new hole. So it might be too late for the grave digging now. It's up to you guys if you want to do that now, or head maybe back to Ismark's mansion to rest for the night and then come back.
Why do we have to add a character? Why do we have to dig this hole?
It's nice.
Because we
Fench
killed his son?
Fench offered a burial for Doru.
Yeah. I mean, Mike, you were going to walk all over town in search of a cow that you were then going to collect blood from for this person, but digging
Yes.
a grave is too much for him.
He's now depressed.
Yeah, Oscar's now depressed. I tried to help him, and it all went bad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In Oscar's defense, everything's gone bad since we got here.
It's a rough town.
Should just burn it all.
Is that March, like, ghost parade still going on?
It happens every night, according to what Irina and Donovich have explained to you.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, does this mean the priest gets to see his son again?
Guess it's possible. He might see his ghost during the ghost parade.
He did technically try to storm the castle, yeah.
Yeah, that does make a few quarters at least.
So do you guys want to try digging a grave in the middle of the night?
I'm gonna go take a nap.
I think I'd rather come back and dig the grave in the morning.
How safe does it look outside?
Outside, it's pretty dark. There's still the fog hanging over the village, but it doesn't look particularly any more dangerous than it did when you got there. Still seems to have the same gloom outside as it was earlier in the day.
My sense of we gotta go in the morning. I go around to each person and ask if anybody wants to join me outside.
For what?
So to dig the grave because we gotta leave by the morning. And, we did just kind of kill his son, so.
I thought we were gonna dig the grave tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's
We
safe enough.
We have to leave first thing though, right?
Well, it's safe enough for you guys to walk back to the mansion with Ismark with you to like walk back to spend the night there. If you guys would rather dig
Why do
the
we
grave
have
in
to
the
leave
morning.
tomorrow?
I guess we don't.
Where are we leaving to tomorrow?
We're doing the transport thing, right?
That can wait till after a hole is dug.
Didn't we have an escort quest?
Right.
Oh, you're gonna escort.
Yeah,
Romero?
I think
I didn't realize that was tomorrow. You were supposed to do that.
There's no time lapse on it. She just said that she would not leave until this was taken care of.
So yeah, we have all day tomorrow to do that.
All right.
Or
Let's
we
do
can even
that,
wait
then.
until the day after if we had to.
Got all
But
the
we could
time in the
find
world.
Well, I guess we could search around for an old lady afterwards and see if we could string her up in the town square. So yeah, I'm kind of for that, I guess.
What did
my goodness.
what did we realize about the cookies again, or the pastries?
They're
children.
the bones of children.
Well then.
Yeah, if you wanted a better description of what they look like, the pastries kind of look like you would imagine like mincemeat pies. So think Sweeney Todd, but instead of just people meat, it's children bones in there with it too.
Well, wait. If she's an old lady and she's got children bones just laying about, wouldn't it make more sense to like make a whole bunch of Jello?
I don't
I
say
think
her
he's just taking
business.
children and grinding them up into mincemeat pies.
When did we find out that the pies were made out of people?
Doru told us.
He said they try to throw the pastry at him, and he said it doesn't smell like blood. It smells like children's bones. I don't want that.
Oh.
So we're gonna take this vampire at face value.
I mean, all he wanted to do was eat us. I don't think he had a reason to lie.
Yeah.
He seemed
Plus,
pretty honest about
we were already in
of
position.
anything.
Yeah, like a good guy.
A good
And
guy that we murdered in cold
wouldn't say-
blood.
I wouldn't say good guy. It didn't
Well,
seem like a reason to lie.
We only murdered him in cold blood because his, well, actually, he didn't even have blood. He'd be a vampire.
True.
There was
So I
no
guess we're fine.
There was no cold blood. We knew he was evil and a vampire.
In his cold, dead vampire blood.
yes, and we did see the old woman try to capture a child. So
And all this time, I thought Fench was the one accosting her.
looks like we are going witch hunting.
Perhaps if we ever see her
Validation.
again.
Yeah, I was tracking her for weeks. Well, a week.
Yeah, so you kind of hear Ismark come up the stairs. He crosses into the first room that Stryder came upon, and you hear him lay the body down, and then he comes out to meet the rest of you. And then you can hear like the sobbing of Donovich as he's gone to his room finally and not back to the altar.
Hey, Ismat.
I'm sorry. Every time you mess a name up, I laugh.
I'm pretty sure Oscar is messing the names up.
So anyway, but yeah, Ismark, he just goes like, that was hard. I didn't mean to execute a man's son, but that was hard. Would you guys like to rest back at the mansion before we handle anything else?
I don't know. A witch hunt could cheer me up.
A witch hunt?
Seems wise.
It's getting pretty late. Strahd tends to send his scouts out around this hour. I don't think spending the night in the streets is for the best.
That sounds like we get to play another 2 hours.
It sounds like it's time for bed.
Yeah.
Alright, so are you guys gonna just head back to the mansion?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Okay, so I'll just quickly move you guys from here. I think your character's token should still be on this board. Yeah, they are, but they're all just up here.
Oh, we're not in our nice line anymore.
No, that was a different map. Yeah, I'll just bring you guys down because it's a hike. Bop, 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 bop. Just transport you each one by one.
That's the fastest way to do that.
Yeah, because I would have just copied the group, but then I realized that that would have brought Donovich and Doru along. But yeah, so it seems like Arena stayed up waiting for you guys. She asks how the burial went.
But
The burial
Romero
went
just
fine.
says something like terrific in a very sad way.
She asks, were there complications?
Your father's burial went on without a hitch. It was a very nice ceremony. We each spoke a few words. It's very beautiful, but the priest's son had become a vampire, and we had to also kill him.
Oh, I recall how close the two were before he tried storming the castle. I had no idea it had come to this. That is hard note. Feel free to take rest in our beds and recover from the events. And she kind of like walks off on her own, also kind of like uncomfortable with the topic, unsure of how to help you guys out.
Did you hear that, Oscar? She said you can rest in her bed. Though I don't know why she would invite all of us into her bed. That's kind of awkward.
Ismark,
Sit by the fire.
yeah, Ismark kind of nods the same notions, like, you know, for the night, our home is your home. Just rest up, and he goes off to his own room. So, Oscar, you're just gonna sit by a fire and think really hard?
Yep. I'll probably just fall asleep in the chair there.
Oh, how about the rest of you?
Probably pick some place near Oscar, like the couch or whatever.
Okay.
I'm probably actually gonna go off to see Romero.
Okay.
To see Romero?
Like, they're in the main room.
Yeah, I know. Just kind of have like a chat with him real quick.
Okay, Jorin.
Find a comfy place to go to sleep.
Okay.
Like a bed.
And then Aiden.
Bed 2.
Okay. So then the only one.
Wait, who sleeps in the father's bed?
Me.
Wow, what a flex. What a power move.
Yeah.
Power move by Aiden. I run this town now.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but Ismark is the current acting since his father passed.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fench, feel free to close it out with your conversation with Romero.
So, Romero,
Yo.
sir. Something tells me that you might be the strongest one here.
He kind of like flexes his arms. I don't know. You seem a little bit stronger than me, physically.
Well, here's the thing. What I'm getting at is that I work best partnership of sorts. I have a very good ability to making sure that those around me don't get hurt and such. So, I was just wondering if I could possibly defer to your assistance from now on, and maybe vice versa.
It works for me. I'm only here to protect Oscar.
Aw.
As you can see, he constantly needs protecting as I swat a spider away from his face.
No.
Yeah, that was some trouble that we were given tonight. I don't like stuff like that.
He has ways of just getting mixed up in trouble without meaning to.
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, nobody wants to kill someone's last son. Maybe like the second to the last son, but not the last.
I just can't believe the little bastard bit me.
It's not infected or anything, right?
No. Paladins can't get infected.
Just making sure. By the way, what are you?
I am Oscar's brother.
No, that's not what I mean. You two don't look alike.
Yes, we hear that quite often.
So what are you? I'm not familiar with your kind from at least where I'm from.
I am an Azimar.
What is that? The name doesn't even make sense to me.
You know how there are angels?
Yes.
I'm like one of them. But something happened when I was small and something went wrong. And then Romero gets quiet.
Okay. Oh. I guess that settles that up. I'm not going to lie. Almost shat myself back there.
Yes, I'm not really sure what came over me.
But anyway, in the future, I hope to do a better job of defending your side and maybe helping you do more hit the enemy a little harder.
Sounds good to me. I think we get along fine as long as you don't try anything with Oscar.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna try anything with him. If anything, I feel sorry for him.
Why is that?
Well, it's simple. Because he thinks that he can still save the world.
He's an idealistic sort. That's why I follow him.
Well, it's good to have a counterbalance, but I have to watch the counterbalance sometimes.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I'm off to sleep myself.
All right,
Good night to you.
some rest. Good night.
All right. Remember Pence Bungie? Do they fall asleep with Bungie on his chest, lying on the couch? Yep. No, that's adorable. So that's the session. Thanks for anyone that tuned in to watch, and thanks guys for playing.